right, I think that's enough of the music for now. Hopefully it says it's copyright free. We'll see. Hopefully it is. Because I don't want to get struck by no copyright claim. I mean, it's fine as long as they don't mute it. That's what really irritates me is when they try to mute or block it. Oh, what's going on with my... Hold on one second. All right, shut up, Phil, for a second. All right, I think we are all set to go, finally. How are we all doing? On this wonderful Christmas Eve stream here. Merry Christmas to you, Eevee fan. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Yule. Merry Hanukkah. All the other holidays that are going on. Hopefully, even if you're not celebrating any holiday whatsoever, I hope you have a good weekend. Good, yeah. Even if you're not celebrating a holiday, I hope you have a good one. We are here today with, obviously DSP. I wanted to go over one of the holiday specials that he did a while back. This is the 2017 DSP Christmas special, which is basically just him bitching and complaining for like 2 hours. And if I somehow am able to make it the whole time, I got one more video I want to react to, and that'll probably be it. Not gonna really... Hopefully this won't be too long, but I always say that, and it always ends up super long. I am streaming, right? Hopefully this is actually going through okay and everything. I know it's been a little while since I streamed, and I apologize. I am feeling better, thankfully, because that sucked a lot. That was not fun, being sick. But what better way to celebrate the holidays than to react to our favorite internet Nazi, right? I don't know. And I almost didn't do this one because I'm like, every fucking detractor's going over the different holiday specials. And I'm like, why should I just do something that everyone else is already doing anyway? And like, they're doing it better than me anyway. So I'm like, should I really even bother? But I'm like, why not? I haven't actually ever reacted to any of the specials myself. So I'm like, well, let's just pick this random one. Because I think it had a lot like him just bitching the whole time in it. It wasn't just that really stupid one where like all of them are really stupid, but you know what I mean. My mic is picking up fine. Everything is okay. Hopefully the audio of this. Let me check.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome.
Yep, it is working. All right. All right, let's get started. I might have to slow the speed down a little bit.
As they say on Twitch, special Christmas Day stream.
Back when he was on Twitch.
Welcome everyone, first of all, who is watching this live on Twitch. Thank you for taking time away from your busy days. I know many of you are celebrating Christmas Day with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And to see you guys come out and celebrate Christmas with me is a really amazing thing. I want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your day to be here live on the stream with me and my ridiculous Christmas sweater that my girlfriend picked out for me. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. It's going to be a really fun stream today. So, what are we doing? First of all, it's Christmas Day 2017. Holy crap. Boy, did this year fly by, right?
I think this was still back when he was with Kat. I don't think this was Leanna yet. I think this was back when it was Kat, or the other way around. I don't think it was Leanna. I think this was when he was actually with Kat.
And seriously, for me,
yeah,
this year passing by so quickly because so much happened, some negative, some positive. There were just so many things that changed this year for me in my life that literally time flew like crazy. And
it flew
I don't know
so
about you
fast,
guys,
dude.
But man, what a tumultuous year, and you know how different the future is going to be for a lot of reasons. Okay. First of all, I want to apologize. I have a cough drop in my mouth because yesterday I did my big WWE annual fantasy holiday sims, and I went crazy on the commentary. I was screaming and everything, and my voice is now very hoarse because I went nuts yesterday on the commentary. I knew that was going to happen. It happens every year. So, you know, got the lozenge going here.
I'm glad he stopped doing that because that shit was so boring.
So apologies if I'm drinking and or whatever. Also, FYI, the stream is going to have several segments. What I'm planning on doing is a first segment here where I could do kind of an intro and I tell you a recap of my year and the ups and downs and everything that happened in 2017 for me. All right, and then what I have plans for the future. Then I'm going to take a break. Then there's going to be a second segment where I'm going to be talking all about Christmas, the history of me and Christmas and my family and the kind of stuff that we would do during the holidays, Christmas traditions and the like. And what I want to do is kind of go more interactive during that segment and talk with people in the stream chat about what did they do for the holidays this year, what do they usually do, what are their traditions, and just have a little bit of a dialogue back and forth with those who are actually watching live. And then, dependent on time, because I don't know how long these segments are going to take or whatever, I may just do a total open kind of Q&A near the end of the stream where I answer everyone's questions in a special segment for the holidays. I'm going to probably break these segments up into different videos for YouTube. So if you're watching this on my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, please be patient. Obviously, there's going to be more than one video here that you can watch. If you're watching on stream, it's just going to have breaks in between the segments, commercial breaks, so I'll play a little bit of holiday music too, so I can relax my voice. More than likely later I'll get like a hot tea to help with everything, my voice and everything. So,
honestly, a hot tea or coffee doesn't sound bad at all right about now. I might actually
between this and other streams that I've
go
done,
grab a coffee.
Shout outs for those who cheer, sub, and tip during the course of today's stream.
Not like grab a coffee, make a coffee.
I'll periodically be checking, and if anyone actually pledges to my Patreon,
I don't waste money actually going out and ordering coffee.
Because right now Patreon is really important for me to be able to raise funds to help with my tax situation. And people have been like, well, if I pledge to your Patreon, I don't really get anything out of it besides the perk. You know, everyone else gets a shout out. I'll be checking because I get emails live when people actually pledge to my Patreon. So if anyone does a significant pledge to my Patreon, I'll also be giving a shout out for that. Okay. So FYI, there will be shout outs during the course of the stream. You'll even see pop-ups and stuff coming up in the corner here. But I will ask this, please reserve.
Hey Reaper, how you doing?
Quick questions for the end of the show, because
and welcome to the holiday special.
And it makes more sense to reserve your questions for the end of the show than be spamming me with 10-bit questions throughout the show that would just basically break the flow of it and kind of interrupt everything. Okay. However, I will start out with a shout out to Hank Duma, who gave me a $10 tip.
What is he doing with his hands? He's like
Christmas present from Santa this year. Also very happy with the return of Poorly Cooking with the King. I'll talk about that in a moment. The Poorly Cooking with the King. In fact,
yeah, that went away fast.
My future plans discussion.
That's
going to be coming up during the segment.
I remember he like tried to tease that he was bringing back Cooking with the King, and it never came back.
I live by myself now. I don't live with anyone else. My parents live on the other side of the country. My girlfriend doesn't live with me. She lives, thousands of miles away. So sadly, and I said this on pre-stream, this is the first Christmas in my entire life. 35 years old, I've never been alone on Christmas until today, okay? It's a bit of a bummer, I'm not gonna lie. My whole life, either I was able to spend it with my friends and relatives or with my significant other, and now I'm here, at home by myself. And it kind of sucks, but...
Well, that's your fault, Phil. You're the one who...
We had snow overnight.
You're the one who flew, like, across the fucking country away from your entire family. Like, what did you expect?
We have, like, 3-4 inches of snow outside, which we almost never get.
And hey, I'm Italian.
Christmas Day is like
and I talk with my hands, but I don't think I talk with my hands as much as this asshole does.
For a few days, so for me, I really don't care.
And
he's shovel. It's nothing like that. It's cool.
And he's less Italian than I am. I am 50% Italian. He's only 25% Italian, and he talks with his hands more than I fucking do. So figure that shit out. He might just be doing it on purpose. Like, I don't know.
It really is. It's very nice. It's
or just his ADD or something.
Day, especially when I'm by myself and I'm like, oh man, kind of a bummer. I'm here by myself today, and then I look and boom, immediately I get a nice, beautiful, warm Christmas snow in the morning. So that was nice.
Yeah, he was trying to sell the whole Cooking with the King with Cat being there or something. It was like, oh, once Cat, or he dangled that in front of his fans. It was like, well, once Cat gets here, we can do cooking together, and it'll be Cooking with the King and Queen or some bullshit, right?
So it's fun to me because for me,
not even. Oh, his mom was only 25%. Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
It doesn't. At one point it did, I'll be honest, for a few
years. So he's even less.
I'd probably say around mid-2013, 2014 through maybe like 2016. It felt like, man, some days I'm just so tired I don't want to go to stream. I just want it to work. Now I don't feel like that anymore. I get up like, man, this is exciting. I get to go share my thoughts and my gameplay experiences with people on a daily basis, and people on the live streams really enjoy what I'm doing. It's so different. It really is. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, YouTube became toxic over the years to the point where I was getting no positivity, no growth, nothing.
Well, you're back on YouTube now, aren't you, bitch?
I'm doing stuff right. They like the playthroughs. What am I doing wrong? Then all of a sudden this year, I focus on Twitch.
You're doing everything wrong, Phil.
More positive. People are coming out in droves. Exponential growth on the streams. So obviously, I wasn't the problem. YouTube was the problem. YouTube became this gross, toxic place, while Twitch is kind of the opposite at this point.
No, you weren't the problem at all.
So that being said, I'm happy to be here and to share my experiences with you guys here on Christmas Day. Okay. So I'm about to begin the first segment. However, I got a shout out to the Raven Org who did a 50-bit cheer, and he said a few weeks ago San Antonio got its first snow in like a few decades. So that's neat for me. Wow, that's pretty cool. That really is cool. That's cool to hear. So thank you for the cheer, and thanks for that cool sentiment. It's nice to know that people are having fun all around the country right now with the holidays. In particular, I've heard in the United States, like, there's basically a snow wave hitting all of the U.S. Everyone's pretty much getting a white Christmas unless they live in like a super hot, like Texas. No, they didn't get snow in particular today, but a lot of places are getting snow today, which is really nice for Christmas, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk 2017. Good Lord, what a year this year was, right? In my wildest dreams, did I predict the crazy amount of ups and downs that would happen to me in 2017? Absolutely not. It was just out of control. It was like...
It might be. I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
I would actually say this.
I'm going to let this play.
Where things really went crazy. 2010, and that was the year, if you guys remember, that I had an office job. I'd been working at this office job for about 5 years. I had gotten commendations at this job, being told I was doing everything right. I had this big certificate that was awarded to me for going above and beyond at this job. I was getting raises and bonuses and everything when I was working at this job. And all of a sudden in October of 2010, they laid me off out of nowhere. And at the time, I'd been doing YouTube as a hobby for 2 years. I had never made any money on YouTube. Back then, it wasn't even possible to monetize your videos on YouTube. And wow, that blindsided me. That was an eye-opener. I was like, are you kidding me? So even at a job where I'm being told I'm, doing outstanding, I'm being giving raises, I could just lose my job out of nowhere on a whim, right? Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then I would say probably the other crazy year was this year because of all the shit that happened, which I'm about to go through. I'm actually going to go through all of 2017 and just recap the stuff that happened in my life because what a year, well, ups and downs, man. A year of ups and downs for sure. Thank you to Mies for $1 tip. He says, bonjour from France. Keep up the great stream. I really love your pre-streams. Thank you, Mies, for the tip. I appreciate that. So let's recap. Let's start. Let's actually, holy shit, is this real? Well, if this is real, this is a hell of a way to start off today's stream, folks. I hope it's real. I didn't even start talking yet. I hope this is real. Did you guys see it? Did you guys see it? Or did it not pop up?
All right, I'm back.
Holy shit. All right, so obviously I'm gonna tell you this. If this, I don't know if this is, we'll find out later today because I'll be able to check my PayPal.
Oh, is this like a fake tip or something?
Fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, according to my Muxie, I just received a $1,000 tip from Santa Claus. Wow.
Ooh, look how happy he is. Look at that.
Really, thank you. If this is legitimate, I hope it is. I hope it's not some
look at him like on his fucking hands and knees begging too. Holy shit.
Holy shit. Is that going to help? I'm about to explain in this segment what happened to me this year and everything and how much that's going to help if that's legitimate. Thank you so much, whoever that was. Obviously, it's a Santa Claus, so they chose to do an anonymous tip. So I don't know if I'll be able to even tell who it was.
Maybe it's a real Santa Claus, Phil. You don't know.
Present for you to help with your tax predicament. Rooting for another 10 years of great entertainment. Wishing you and all your fans
that fake tax predicament that he always uses to beg.
Well, again, I hope it's legit, and if it is, thank you very, 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 very much. Really. Holy crap, man. That's crazy. All right. Well. Wow. All right. Let's continue, folks. Wow. I hope that's real. Thank you to Captain DCW who just did 100 bit cheers and Merry Christmas, Phil. Sorry, guys, that I'm kind of stunned. I'm stunned. If that's real, I'm really stunned right now. If that was because that, I mean, is going to help so much with this upcoming problem that I'm having with these taxes. You have no idea. Like that might pay for.
I don't remember if that was actually real or not, though.
I don't know what I owe yet, but it may like have the issue. So thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this year.
I think it was.
Holy shit! But I'm gonna be so distracted during this session. Seriously, I'm gonna be so distracted. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2017. What a year it was. First of all, just so you guys know, to give you some perspective of how 2017 started, it already was tumultuous for me because every year, typically, at the end of the year, between the months of September to December, all right, on YouTube, I used to see a giant increase in viewership.
Hey, it's okay, Reaper. I understand.
I was playing.
Have a good one, all right?
All right, the big AAA releases. And ad revenue typically would go up at the end of the year because everyone was advertising for Christmas. So I would always see this big spike. And keep in mind, before 2017, the vast majority of my income every month came from YouTube. That was my focus. Streaming, I made like nothing doing it. It was fan service for me. So for me, the live streams were just kind of, messing around. And, to share stuff live with you, but it wasn't like a focus of mine at all. It was always YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. The end of 2016, I saw no increase in viewership and no increase in revenue. So I was counting on this big spike to help me pay my bills and, for taxes that were coming due and everything at the end of 2016, and it didn't happen. And so in 2017, I said, I got to do something drastic. I have to do something to make it so that I can make it through this year. And that's why, if you remember, in January of 2017, I did the Dark Souls Redemption run. I did this idea where, man, if I go back and I play this game, all right.
Like when I was younger, my family would do something for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But now we just do things on Christmas Day.
This phone. It's going to give me a live feed of if people pledge to my Patreon. That's why I'll be checking my phone from time to time.
So we don't really do anything for Christmas Eve anymore because our grandparents died.
I didn't know if anyone was going to care. All right. I did.
And we would always go hang out with the grandparents
in January, which was nice on Patreon. So I had some extra funds in my pocket, which was nice. Did this redemption run of Dark Souls, massively successful. People were coming out to stream like crazy. People, surprisingly enough, which I didn't know would happen, were cheering and subbing to the channel in droves. Now, at this point, I didn't even accept tips yet. And actually, people were asking me, Phil, are you ever going to accept donations or tips because we like to do it? I was like, nah, I think things will turn around on YouTube. It's not a big deal. I think things will be fine. But that was actually
you're kind of an idiot back then, huh?
It was that stream, or those streams, over a 2-3 week period where I played the Dark Souls Redemption run, that I really feel people saw me streaming on Twitch and were like, wow, Phil, actually, it works better when Phil is live. Because he's interactive with the stream chat. He's having fun.
You said you weren't interacting with the stream chat before, though.
It's a better experience than just watching Phil kind of on demand, where you don't have that interactive experience. Okay. So that being said, I think that was kind of the spark that I saw, and I was like, man, if I were, and it was funny because some people were actually saying, I wonder if Phil's just going to become a full-time.
This is all lies anyway, because like, let's be honest, once the ad apocalypse happened on YouTube, like, he didn't know what the fuck he was gonna do. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And he was like asking all his fans on YouTube, what am I gonna do? And everyone told him, just go to fucking Twitch and stream. It's like, oh, I guess I could do that. Like, he wasn't thinking ahead of that. He wasn't planning on that. His fans told him, go over to Twitch and stream, dumbass. Like,
streamer at this point.
So this is all bullshit that he's trying to spin.
That was more of a stream-focused event than him just doing videos for YouTube. And that kind of planted the bug in my head that maybe this year I would want to focus more on streaming than anything else. But at that point, the bubble hadn't burst yet, per se, on YouTube. So I was still in the mindset, I'm going to keep doing YouTube full-time, and that's really how I'm going to continue on, all right? So then February came. And I'll be honest, folks, this is something I've never talked about, all right? Behind the scenes, just so you guys know, my relationship with my ex-girlfriend was not good, all right? We're at a point in our relationship, and I'm not going to get too private because it's a very private situation. Let's just say this way. Over the years that we had been together, things had changed dramatically in our lives. Things had changed dramatically with the quality of life, relationships with our family, put it that way. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that had happened to me that negatively affected my ex-girlfriend put a big strain on her, all right? In particular, the swatting incidents that happened in 2015, I know were a big game changer.
Oh my God. The swatting incidents, dude, I don't know.
Young and we can do whatever, you know, do fun stuff out here now that we live together in Washington. And it basically became, man, now we're two people who basically people hate us, you know? I'm just...
because of you, Phil.
And we got people sending police to our house with guns drawn, and then they swatted my ex-girlfriend's father.
That was a wellness check. That was not actual
and then
SWAT.
There were threats to SWAT her brother-in-law or her
and that's we have no proof that even happened either.
And when that happened, it was like so messed up. All right, and honestly, you know, things were never the same. You know, when that kind of stuff happens and you have that tenseness, it screws up stuff, personal stuff, in your inner life. The
tenseness.
And
yeah, it's all the.
You know, how are you ever gonna have a safe life? How are you ever?
Yeah, he's trying to fucking portray it that like, oh, it's all the detractors' fault that his fucking relationship fell to shit, and when it was really his fault because he wasn't giving her any fucking attention whatsoever, and she wanted commitment from him, and he didn't give any of that shit. So it's like, yeah, no, that's not the case.
I mean, secure life. You know, you never know what's gonna happen. What's the next financial crisis that's gonna happen that's gonna screw everything over? What's the next situation where your life might be threatened, right? And I can tell you right now, it was all those things that happened over the years that kind of soured everything behind the scenes. And in early 2017, all right, it was almost like we were living together, but we weren't a couple. It was more like we were living together as roommates, all right? And I know that sounds really fucked up, but that's really what, you know, we were in a relationship for 5 years. We moved out here, and at first it was great, but over the years, as the trolling got worse and the things...
That's basically how you and Kat are now, though, really. You're still roommates. Really when
things started to fall apart, okay? Honestly. And, you know, it's not necessarily that there was blame to be had. It wasn't like we were mad at each other for the things that happened. It was just kind of like, what the fuck do you do? How are we going to have a normal life when we have these crazy things that happen in our lives? And every day we wake up, we might have another life-altering, stressful event that could fuck with us completely. Whether it's YouTube, something going on with YouTube, and now I can't pay my bills, or whether it's getting DDoS attacked, so I can't stream today, whether the cops are showing up, whether we're getting...
Always an excuse of some kind, right?
Nasty and stressful. It screws with you mentally, physically, emotionally. It does. Even though I might
not
feel that guys on a daily basis, it takes its toll. And literally over years, what happened is our relationship kind of just fell apart to the point where it wasn't like we were significant others anymore. Like I said, it was more like, yeah, we're here, we share a house, but we weren't getting along to a point where it was like an intimate relationship anymore. All right. So
it wasn't the fact that like you like ignored her totally or anything like that. No.
Kind of falling apart, and it just made it would be one thing. Oh God, I got false.
Or didn't want to commit to any kind of relationship outside of boyfriend girlfriend.
Good and feel supported, and you know it's better. We didn't even have that. That fell apart, and it's like when everything's falling apart, something's going to give at some point. All right. So all that's going on behind the scenes of early 2017. All of a sudden in February of 2017, all right, my ad revenue on YouTube, no exaggeration, goes down by 50%. So already I thought, oh, I was supposed to be making more at the end of 2016, and it didn't happen. And then all of a sudden in February, I make half as much money as usual. Now, it would have been one thing if I had diversified and I was making...
Oh, it's a classic, I make half as much as usual. Half is that, half of that one, half of that one.
And I was in panic mode. Because I was
it went from here to here, all the way down to here.
I can't even pay my bills anymore. And this is when I went to Machinima, all right? I went to Machinima, who was my partner at the time. Remember, I've been partnered with Machinima on YouTube for the longest, since 2011. And I said, what is going on? You know, this is ridiculous. You guys didn't give me any warning. There was no warning. Did I do something wrong? Is this a glitch on YouTube? What is going on? That all of a sudden,
you did something wrong, basically. That's how it is.
If this continues, all right? So Machinima tries to look into it. And sadly, this is what I learned over the years, folks. And this is the sad truth.
This is what I learned over the years, guys.
Machinima, at one point, was one of the big wigs on YouTube. They were a company that had a lot of clout. They had a lot of power and positioning on YouTube because they were one of the biggest partnership networks. If you wanted to be a successful gamer on YouTube, Machinima was one of those networks you wanted to be a part of. Over the years, Machinima declined and declined and declined. Every year, there was more negative press. There was more controversy. They
but you never left them, though, did you, dummy?
And finally, you know, the bubble kind of burst in 2016 when behind the
The
scenes Machinima
bubble
laid off
burst,
tons
oh
of their
no.
staff and didn't tell anyone. I had a person who was the head of the partnership program at Twitch, at Machinima, who I'd been working with personally in 2015.
Oh, you'll
and
use the whole
2016 for
Twitch one
copyright
too, though.
issues,
Don't
copyright
worry.
strikes, things like that. They laid the guy off and didn't even tell me. So I had no contact at Machinima. I didn't even know this. They didn't even
Yeah,
bother
I've
to tell me,
heard. I've
okay?
seen
So they laid
clips
off,
of
like, half the people who dealt with
Canadian
their partners.
Kirk, and he's just a
It was terrible. They
racist
didn't tell
piece
anyone
of
because they didn't
shit.
want negative press, okay?
And apparently he was shadow banned
So
from
here
like
it is,
YouTube or something.
February 2017.
And then he's like wondering
All of a
why
sudden,
he
my
was
ad revenue
shadow
on
banned
YouTube
and shit. I'm like,
halves. I don't
gee,
know if
I
I'm gonna
wonder
pay my bills
fucking
anymore. I contact
why.
Machinima, and Machinima is literally,
You
I'm not
racist
even,
piece of shit.
I'm not even exaggerating. Literally treating me like dirt. Like, whatever, we'll look into it, but stop bothering us. That's kind of the response I got from them. That was kind of like, we understand this is important to you, but just stop bothering us. We'll get you back to you when we feel like it. And I'm like, what? This is my livelihood. I could lose my house. I could lose everything. I could go through financial ruin because all of a sudden my YouTube revenue just dropped by 50%. And Machinima was kind of like, meh, who cares? And like, that's not the attitude to have.
No, that's not the case either. You're lying again, Phil. They were looking into it. And you were an impatient piece of shit. So, like, of course. Oy. What an idiot.
For 6 years, right? Being a dedicated partner for them, sticking up for them when people told me year after year after year to leave them because they weren't reliable and because of the things happening behind the scenes that they were doing that were underhanded and bad. And I ignored all that. All right? And said, no, I'm going to be loyal to them and I'm going to stick with them. And I stuck up for them for 6 years. And then all of a sudden, I get treated like dirt. Oh, well, so what if your revenue halved? We'll figure it out when we figure it out, all right? And after 2 weeks of waiting for answers and getting literally no answers whatsoever, I told them, I said, this is how you're going to behave. I don't know if I want to be, you know, with you guys anymore because I have to be with a partner network that at least is going to try to get me answers and not just be like, meh. In reality, whatever.
They were looking into what was going on, and you were so impatient, and you kept fucking hounding them. And they're like, dude, stop bothering us. We're looking into it. We'll let you know when we find out. And he's like, that's not good enough. Don't you know who I am? I'm darksydephil. And they're like, I don't want to do business with you guys if you're going to do this. And they're like, okay, bet. And
what
like,
happened here is Machinima had no clout anymore. They had no ability to go to YouTube and get any answers because YouTube just told them whatever, we don't care.
Okay,
They had no clout, so their hands were tied. But being a network really being mistreated. Let me give you a specific example of what happened.
Let me give you a
emailed
specific.
the former head of the partner program, who I had directly worked with about a dozen times in 2015 and a little bit in early 2016 on issues just like this, whether it was copyright issues, revenue issues, whatever. I got a formal letter email back saying this person is no longer with the company. Write this other person instead. So I did. And the next day, I literally got an insulting email from Machinima saying, you know, you're already in contact with us on this issue. Don't go around us and try to write other people in other departments. We're already taking care of this for you. How dare you? And I was like, who are you to speak to me like that? You're basically disrespecting me because
they're your bosses, technically, Phil. I mean, they are in they're your boss on YouTube. You work for Machinima. You're an employee for Machinima. That's what they say. That's who they are.
I go to someone who's helped me in the past. You basically treat me like a small child and tell me not to try to seek out help.
You are a fucking small child, though. You're an impudent little fucking brat of a child and refuse to do obey or listen to your superiors.
I guess Machinima decided, gee, forget it. Since this guy looks like he's going to give us bad press anyway, let's get rid of him. And they canceled all my contracts. They basically
no, you said, you basically gave them the opportunity to cancel you, or not cancel, fucking fire you, basically. They're like, well, I don't want to work with you guys if you're going to do this shit. And they're like, okay, fine, get out of here. You gave them permission to fire you. And you're too fucking stupid to realize it.
We're just gonna end all the contracts with you. And I was like, all right, fine. That's kind of what I want anyway. Since you guys aren't helping me at all.
Bullshit.
Right.
That's not what you wanted. You were panicking, my dude.
I had.
You were fucking
another
panicking.
Partnership network lined up. Okay. All right, now hold on. This is perfect because Nick actually tipped me $1 and he said the following. He says, Phil, in my opinion, leaving Machinima was a bad choice. You were getting a managed partnership and the falling out was over something stupid. No, it wasn't.
It was
something stupid.
It was.
Being disrespected.
Oh, being disrespected? Like everyone disrespects you? You mean that?
They're basically supposed to be like your agent. They're supposed to stick up for you. They're supposed to seek out opportunities for you. They're supposed to get you the best ad revenue.
Oh my god,
this
guy's an idiot.
Being talked to like a child and being told we don't care about your concerns. Don't go to anyone else. We're handling it. Enough is enough. I knew going forward was going to be a toxic relationship with them, and that's why I knew I had to get out of there. All right. Now here's the thing. I had another company who I'd been talking with behind the scenes for 2 years. All right, 2 years. And this company wanted to get me on board with a managed partnership. The only thing was they were going to pay me slightly. By the way, I apologize for my throat. As I told you guys, yesterday I did the WWE stream. I went a little bit overboard, so my throat's a little messed up. It's going to sound messed up today. I'll probably get another lozenge in a moment, and I'm going to make myself a hot tea. So anyway, I had another company lined up. For 2 years, they wanted to recruit me, all right? And they had a managed partnership lined up for me, which means I would not have to worry about content ID. I'd be able to monetize my Nintendo videos. The only thing was they were going to pay me less than what Machinima was paying me ad revenue cut-wise. So I knew if I ever had a falling out with Machinima, okay, that I would be able to fall back on it, all right? So the day that this all happened with Machinima, I sent a private message to the person who was my contact at this company on Twitter, but I also knew this guy didn't read his PMs a lot, so I just sent him a general message. I tweeted him. I said, hey man, please hit me back. I got something I'd like to talk about. The trolls, those dumb fucks who had swatted me, DDoS attacked me, false copyright strikes, who've done everything to make my life
wellness check, not SWAT. Maybe one person DDoS'd him at one point in time, but like he loves to assume that every troll is like part of it and we're all some fucking big hive mind. And that's not the case at all, Phil. Like, people are their own individuals. If one person takes it too far, that doesn't mean every fucking troll is going to do that.
Hell, over the years, saw me tweet this fucking guy, and somehow figured out that this guy was probably the agent at the network that I was going to probably go to.
It's not that hard to. It's not that hard to realize that when you're begging them for help.
Course of 2 days, spammed the fuck out of this partnership's company's social media accounts so badly that they had an internal meeting with the higher ups.
It's always the troll's fault. It's not his fault. He basically begged them to fire him.
But because they were an up and coming company, they're not huge. They're not like Curse. You know what I mean? They're not a big company that is immune to all that stupid shit. They were afraid that because this trolling happened within 2 days, all right, of me seeking partnership with them, and the fact that they knew that there would be ongoing attacks and stuff against them, they were literally afraid that they wouldn't be able to continue, like they'd get negative association. That Darksydephil's with this smaller company. This company is just known as a toxic company because Phil's with them. And so they actually rescinded their offer to partner me, which had been a 2-year standing offer to partner me under a managed partnership. They rescinded the offer.
Was that Lavaria? Because that wasn't even a real fucking thing anyway. They're trying to...
Okay. So again,
honeypot and whatever the fuck it's called.
Directors, all these people who've just been so out to hurt me in my life, who I've never met, who I knew nothing about. It's a fucked up situation. All right, it just is a really fucked up situation. So now I'm in a situation where not only am I out of my partnership with Machinima, I now can't even get the partnership with the company who I lined up to be the next company that I wanted to work with because of the nastiness and shit that had been happening to me. Okay, it was a really fucked up situation. So now I'm faced with a situation where I need to try to find another partnership. And I'll be real with you guys. I seeked out with about 4 different companies and they all turned me down. And they all said it's because when we search for you on YouTube, we see negative shit. We see DSP is a pedophile, DSP is a thief, DSP is a greedy fuck, DSP is this and that. All the
I love that Snort Burnell intro outro, was it? Like, DSP is a pedophile, DSP is a racist, DSP, like, that was such a good fucking outro.
That's the only thing you can find on YouTube when you search for me. No one wanted to partner me. All right? No one. And it's a fucked up situation because what did I ever do wrong? None of it. All of it's slander.
You did a lot of shit.
It's not true.
No. You did a lot of shit wrong, my dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Negative about me.
Don't give me that bullshit.
That's blown out of proportion with a bunch of lies. But because that's the snippet of truth, people believe it. And because YouTube is based off of, videos that go viral because of drama, these people got all kinds of popularity.
Yeah, it was his outro. He's a thief. He's a dirty beggar.
It's ridiculous to the point where I couldn't get a partnership on YouTube because of this. And I'm like, man, I have limited time because I knew the contracts with Machinima were ending. One was ending in March and one was ending in April for my 2 partner channels.
And you waited to the last second to do it too, didn't you?
What on earth am I going to do? So what I have to say, all right, and I mean this, okay? Thank God for you guys, because in the year 2016, you guys pounded me. And I don't mean in the butt. I mean, you guys
No, that sounds what you mean.
You guys said, Phil, you may not realize this, but things are different over on Twitch right now. Things are much more positive.
Because you were begging them to find out, like, what should I do, guys? I don't know what to do.
Their streaming bitrate is being increased. It's going up. Their policies in regards to a lot of things, the things you didn't used to like, are now going away or changing. It really is becoming a lot more gamer-oriented place, and I think you're going to enjoy going back there. Plus, Twitch is growing virally in popularity while YouTube...
Keep in mind, he left
so I returned
all because they told him he had to lower his bitrate. He's like, no, I want to stream at, like, 15,000 fucking bitrate,
is owned by Amazon.
because I'm a moron.
So when I applied for my partnership with Twitch, all right, they reviewed all my information and saw, oh,
yeah, he's harboring a pedo anyway.
Who already streamed with us for years.
So of course he's probably going to be harboring a racist.
This guy's reliable. Let's do it. And they partnered me. And because of that, at least now I was making less money, but at least I was able to still make money on YouTube and basically kind of saved my butt temporarily because I knew I was going to be able to be partnered with Curse moving forward. So it basically saved my butt. Your advice to go back to Twitch spearheaded this kind of... It basically saved my butt. You're moving forward. Still make money on YouTube and basically kind of saved my butt temporarily.
You see that?
I was going to be able to be partnered with Curse moving forward.
I think you can see that. So, like, why are you drinking fucking water out of a coffee mug, dude? Like, this is literally just water. It's not even hot water. It's not. It's just normal cold-ass water in a fucking coffee mug. Why are you drinking water out of a cup? Like, that just bothers my OCD a little bit. Like, mugs and coffee mugs are for hot liquids, not cold drinks. Okay, like just fucking get normal. Like, doesn't he have normal like glasses that he can like put normal, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, a glass, you can put juice, you can put water, like whatever in it, milk maybe. But no, he's using a fucking coffee mug because he has to have the darksydephil coffee mug to show it off. Even though I don't think he was even selling that at this point either. Anyway, so it's just fucking stupid.
But at least I was able to still make money on YouTube and basically kind of saved my butt temporarily because I knew I was going to be able to be partnered with Curse moving forward. So, it basically saved my butt. Your advice to go back to Twitch spearheaded this kind of rolling events that allow me to then be partnered with Curse and allow all this positive stuff to kind of start happening in 2017.
What?
So, thank you to everyone who was in touch with everything going on the internet. Thank you to those of you who gave me really amazing advice. You guys literally saved my ass this year.
It almost sounds like you're not even in control of your own business, at least any. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're literally just
shout out to Vidar
at the whim of your audience.
And he says, keep doing what your thing, Phil.
I mean, I guess that's
on the internet,
technically
is not usually about is usually about your personal life. And more often, it's just fabricated news and stuff. You know, it's not true. If you're not a troll that wants to believe shit, you don't trust it. So basically, yeah, right. If you're not a negative person,
guys, haven't you seen this? Teespring.com, DSP. Make sure you go here and buy a shitty ass T-shirt.
5 minutes of research. You can actually find out. Phil stole money from his patrons because he never made Project 7. That's 100% a lie.
No, that's true.
5 minutes of research.
That's fucking true.
And see how completely different the truth is, but they don't want to do that. They want to believe the negative and the nasty. If you're that kind of person that you spend your life wanting to believe the negative and the nasty about people, you have something inside that's disconnected.
Oh, yes, we got to use more fucking, that was my depression, blah, 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 but you're the mentally ill ones, not me.
And you really got to seek out some kind of positivity in your life, because if you're just negative all the time, believing the worst about everyone, that's going to be a really bad life you're going to have, you know? I'm not that kind of person. I'm not. Maybe at one point in my life I was.
No, they just believe the worst about you. They don't believe the worst about every fucking person, just you. Because you've shown that you're not a trustworthy fucking person.
But I'm certainly not like that anymore, all right?
You've proven you're not.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. So, during the month of February, the falling out with Machinima, I'm struggling. I'm trying to find someone to partner with throughout February and early March. Finally, in March, I find Curse, and I'm able to be partnered with Curse in March. So things are.
Why is he doing this recap? Like, all his fans would know all this shit already by this point, right?
The ad revenue issue on YouTube is
like, everyone would know this.
As much as I did previously. So now I need to find a way to get out of the situation. So what do? I said, well, I am going to take the advice of many people, and I'm going to try to make streaming more of my focus. And if you guys aren't aware, it was actually the second week of March 2017 when everything changed, all right? I became more stream focused. If you remember, I was playing Zelda Breath of the Wild at the time, okay? I became far more stream focused than anything else, all right? And I was basically trying to change myself from being someone who, when I sit here and I play a video game, it seems like I'm in an isolation booth. I'm just by myself, and I'm just commenting on the game, and not paying any attention to anything around me.
And 2017 feels like
style that had become more popular
yesterday to me. You know what I mean?
In the stream chat,
like
responding to people who are cheering, subbing, and tipping.
It feels like 2017 was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And like you think about it, it's like, holy shit, it's actually been a while.
Doing things a certain way. And to on the fly try to adjust my style to be a more interactive style was a very different thing. I actually remember
it's like 5 years ago, and it feels like it was only like maybe 2 years ago. It's crazy.
On, you know, politics, and I'm like, this is wild. I'm trying to play a game, and people are asking me these wild, outlandish questions that have nothing to do with the game. But sometimes, you know what? Especially when you're playing a game where there's not a lot going on, it makes sense to kill the downtime with that kind of stuff, to fill it with that kind of content. You know, I'll be honest, the games I'm playing right now, I've been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The game's good for 2 reasons. Number one,
oh god, yeah, you didn't play that game for very long either, did you?
But number two, there's a lot of dead time where you're just running around by yourself collecting items and looting, and that's time to interact with people in the stream chat.
No, you just hid in the bathroom the whole time, if I recall correctly, Phil.
Half interaction with your stream chat and half zaniness, all right?
Oh, zaniness, so zany, guys.
That being said, folks, I struggled in March to make myself more interactive, and I'll be honest, it was stressful. It was time consuming because I was trying to adjust to a more dedicated streaming schedule where people could come to the streams and be more interactive with me more on a regular basis.
Eevee fan, I don't know what did he just post something today? I know he's doing that stupid Sunday DSP reacts like stream, but I'm not going over that because that's boring as fuck. I did that one time and I got my purple heart from Decepticon from it, and that's good enough. Purple snort, I mean, that's good enough. I'm not doing that again. Unless it's like a specific video that like he just did or something. I don't know.
My schedule changed a lot during that period of time. And I saw, honestly, even more of a disconnect with my ex-girlfriend during that time period. It was more focused on...
That's like some of his worst content is just his like react stream every Sunday or whatever day it is.
In April, all right.
That's just boring, man.
I basically looked back at how things had gone in March, and things had gone really well. I went from making like no money whatsoever on Twitch to making a decent amount. Was it, oh my god, my revenue jumped ginormously and I was making tons of dough hand over fist on Twitch? No.
It probably was,
revenue on Twitch had gone
but
from like absolutely nothing to something at least significant. And I was like, wow, if I really keep at this, if I plug at this, right, and I stick with it, and I stay dedicated to doing the Twitch interactivity the way that I've done this month, okay, maybe by the end of the year, things could grow. Because what I was seeing on Twitch was potential for growth, something I had never seen ever on YouTube since like 2012. I'd been on the decline on YouTube, and YouTube just became more toxic towards me, more nasty towards me, more negative videos and slander about me, more this is how you don't play. And at that point, I was like, how am I ever going to grow the business when everything these people are doing is nasty, viral shit against me for their own?
Jasper's probably okay.
Honestly, the people making
who knows if Cat
videos
is,
me,
but
so.
Jasper probably
they were getting
is.
viral views from negative assholes. So, you know, I knew YouTube, kind of the YouTube party was over. It was time to move on to the Twitch focus. And seeing the potential that I saw in that 1 month, just 1 month.
Why is he going over this? Everyone knows, like,
if I
all your fans would know all
really
this
turn
shit.
around, okay? And so it was actually April on where I changed my focus completely to be, I want to be a stream-oriented guy. I want to be a guy who every single day when I come out to stream, that's my focus, to entertain the people on stream, to give you guys a fun, entertaining experience that feels more interactive, because that's going to get people to cheer, sub, and tip. That's going to get more people to come to the streams every day, and it's going to make things great. And I'll be honest, from then on, for the rest, every month, more subscribers, more viewers, more revenue. Every single month that I've been doing this on Twitch, it's gotten better, okay? And I couldn't be happier in that regard, all right? But while all that was going on, right, while all that was happening, behind the scenes with my ex-girlfriend, things were falling apart to the point, like I said, it was more like we were just roommates. And a lot of people have asked me the question, Phil, how on earth could you get engaged to someone and then within a month break up with them? How can that happen?
Good question,
you got engaged
Phil.
And then broke it off and, you know, ended the relationship in May. It doesn't even make sense. The truth of the matter, folks, and this is something, I have not talked about until today. So
truth of the matter, guys.
The engagement was legit, but it really was a Band-Aid on an already broken relationship, all right? Already, we had multiple discussions where we were not happy with where we were, and we had wanted to, if you remember at that point, I made it so that instead of only having a half day where we run out and did errands together, instead I was taking a whole day, so basically my ex and I could spend personal time together and then run and do our errands and everything, so it would be a better day. But even then, we were taking days, and we would like, what do you want to do today? I don't know. What do you want to do? I really don't know. I'm stressed out. I really don't care. Well, then let's just fucking do whatever. And it wouldn't matter. It would be like a wasted day. We wouldn't do anything significant or anything fun together, because really, it was kind of like, we were so stressed out about everything else, we just didn't care. And that was terrible, you know? So what ended up happening was, I had purchased an engagement ring for my ex-girlfriend almost a full year beforehand, all right? And the plans that we had made were that, gee, if things finally get financially stable, we wanted to go to California together. We wanted to do a mini vacation. It wasn't gonna be like a long, expensive vacation. Maybe 2-3 days in California where we could go to like Universal Studios for a day or Disneyland for a day. And I would propose to her there, okay? And then it would be kind of a fun, magical event that we would remember.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
And yeah, it might be where we come back and we're not able to get married right away.
It was more the fact that you weren't giving her the fucking time of day, Phil. Like, and she saw when she got a job, had to get a job because you made her get a job, and she saw that there are better things out there, and she could be having a lot better position in life.
Back home, but at least we're engaged and we can be happy that one day we're going to get married. And then it was kind of like, well, time passes, more financial shit happens, we can't go, more stressful stuff happens. Now we're not going too good together, you know, to the point where it was like the ring's just sitting here, and it's like, when's it going to happen? I don't know, you know. And I didn't just want. And one day I remember we just kind of sat down, we were laying in bed together, and we looked at each other, and she said to me, you know what? You should just give me the ring, because we're never going to find a perfect time. It seems like this is our life now. Every day is just constant stress. You don't know if we're going to be able to pay the bills. We're probably never going to be able to go.
Sounds like such a good relationship, huh?
All right, so I did, you know, and it really was completely unromantic. And she put the ring on, and we took a picture for Instagram or whatever. And, you know, that's what I mean. Like, it really wasn't legitimately, it didn't seem like it was like a legit engagement, because already things had been so falling apart.
Because of you.
And a real, honestly, what it felt like was more of just, like I said, a Band-Aid. Things were already falling apart. Quick, let's get engaged and maybe things will magically become better. Well, no surprise. We had like 1 or 2 days that were better, and then things went right back to normal, where I was worried about financially, would I be able to pay everything? She had kind of more gone off and focused on her own life. She was real focused on her job at that point. She wanted to get promoted to her job and maybe go full-time, in which case if she's working full-time and I'm working full-time, now we're not even going to see each other even less, right? And so behind the scenes, things just kept falling apart, all right? Now, I'm not going to tell you the full story, because there's a lot of other stuff that happened too. But basically, by late April, the whole relationship...
When he says that, when he says, oh, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, there's nothing else to it. That was it. Even fan, I don't really know. I honestly feel like he's like not dominant enough to actually control her that way. I think she probably wears the pants of the relationship a bit, and like she is just like I feel Kat is just using him for shelter and all this other shit. I wouldn't be surprised if she has her own bank account and like she has her own bills and she keeps her bills separate from him, because she knows how much he spends on WWE champions and shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if like she has her own bank account and she's wearing the pants of the relationship, not him. That would be my guess.
3 weeks of us getting engaged, the whole thing had just, blown
And
up
I
to the
do
point where we weren't getting
apologize.
along
My
anymore.
throat is like not my throat,
was
but my
working,
voice is
and we would
still
have,
not
we'd eat
back
dinner
to
together,
normal
and
fully.
then we wouldn't even like I would work again, and I wouldn't even see
Still
her because
kind
she
of
would go to
rough.
sleep because she
It's
had to work
fucked
early in the
up.
morning. So I would be up at night watching stuff myself. We wouldn't even have significant time because we were avoiding each other. I was our schedules didn't even coincide anymore. So
She
it really
probably
wasn't
was
like we were
avoiding
sharing a house
you.
rather than
I wouldn't
being a
blame
couple,
her.
an engaged couple. And basically we had a big blow up around the end of April, a big blow up, to the point where it was kind of agreed upon that was it, that it was over. But we knew exactly what would happen if we had
Maybe it was over because you fucking aired her hospital story on a stream, huh?
this publicly to the world, especially after just getting engaged. What would more negativity, more snoops in our lives, more people trying to fuck with us and find private information and be just fucking nasty to us in general. So we kind of decided together we're not going to tell anyone. We're just going to pretend like we're still together, all right? Until a time when she's kind of moved out and things, the truth of the matter was I didn't tell you guys that I had broken up with my ex for like almost 2 whole months after she was gone. So she had been gone for a while. And I was doing stuff by myself, and it was funny.
Get that bitch out of here.
I remember during that time.
Get him out of here.
I was doing Twitch and Chill stream. Remember the Twitch and Chill events that I had been doing?
No, I don't actually.
So I was doing Twitch and Chill stuff, and while I was doing the Twitch and Chill stuff, people were being trolls. They were coming in and saying, "Haha, Leanna," and this and that. And I was already broken up with her for a while. So for me, honestly, it wasn't even stinging at all because it was like you're insulting my ex, who I haven't talked to. I don't have that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But people didn't know that.
Like,
so
oh shit, I just heard something.
No
doesn't go check on her or anything. It's like, oh, he keeps fucking streaming. I think.
So
I remember correctly.
Yeah, it all kind of fell apart in that regard, and it sucked. It did because it was funny. It was like when things were going bad with everything else, the relationship falls apart, and then things started to go good with business. Like I told you guys, the streams were picking up. People were being positive again. There was growth on Twitch, and here I am trying to show a happy face every day. Having so much fun, streaming on Twitch, and then in real life behind the scenes, everything was going wrong or had gone wrong.
Not like you really even cared about her anyway, though. Come on.
Previously, the way that my life was I wake up, I spend some time with my ex-girlfriend, right? Whatever, setting up in the morning. I work, but then when my work's done, now we have a shared meal, so she's cooking or whatever. A lot of the responsibilities of the house were shared. I had more income because her income was contributing to the house budget and everything. And then when we broke up, less money, no one cooking for me anymore. It was basically a giant, no moral support. That was the other thing. If anything went wrong, I was on my own. I didn't have anyone. Again, it's one thing when things go wrong, but you have someone to go to at night to have moral support and have someone physically be there for you to encourage you. And that completely went away from me, and it was devastating. But I couldn't tell anyone because if I did, I knew the negativity that would explode on the internet when all this was happening. So all that happens, and remember, during the months of April, May, June, my streams are going good. People are coming out for my streams and really enjoying the streams and everything, right? And it's amazingly positive, but behind the scenes, my life is a mess. I'm alone. I'll be honest, guys. I started drinking, which you shouldn't do, especially when you're depressed. But I did. I started drinking, way more than a person should. At night, I was getting drunk every night. I was having some issues getting to stream some days because I was feeling so depressed over losing the relationship behind the scenes and everything, and not being able to share that with you guys.
Sure.
Right? It was another major thing. Really, the only people who knew about it were my parents. And what are they going to do? They live on the other side of the country. It's not like they could be there for any kind of support besides just telling me, we're sorry that what happened or whatever, and we're going to stick up. Basically, just keep plugging forward.
Well, you're the one who moved across the country. I mean,
so all that happening, right? And if you guys remember, it basically what ended up happening was Leanna was doing very little stuff on the internet, or what she did was kind of stuff that masked the fact that we had broken up. And all of a sudden, she started posting pictures from like her new place, a cat that lived with her and stuff like that. And people were like, Phil doesn't have a cat. What is this, a picture? You know what I mean? Now, keep in mind, this was months after. Oh, by the way, the one thing that I forgot to mention, all right? The one thing I forgot to mention was when my ex-girlfriend had a situation at work where she had a panic attack, and I had to leave a stream and rush to the hospital, all right? That had happened. We'd already broken up, and she was already in the process of moving out of the house and everything when that happened, all right? And so for me, I was kind of like in a messed up mindset where, oh no, I had to leave in the middle of a stream, and people wanted to know what the hell was.
So, sorry, Eevee fan, I understand. I completely understand. Because it's like, my boyfriend doesn't get it either, kind of thing. He's like, he knows of Phil, and like, he knows I make videos on him. But he doesn't get why I keep watching him all the time, or why I always watch, well, I don't watch him, I watch other Detractor content, because I can't, it's so fucking boring to actually try to watch his raw shit. You need a filter of some sort. But even then, he doesn't understand why it's like always content revolving around him. And it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't fully understand how much of a fucking train wreck this guy is, right? Like, no, like, this is our reality TV show. Because, like, no one can imagine someone being this fucking stupid, making the same mistakes over and over and over again without learning at all, anytime. Oh, like being so fucking delusional and mentally challenged that he's always blaming everyone else for his own fuck ups and doesn't seem to realize that, like, he looks bad because of the shit that he himself says. We are literally just taking clips of him, not out of order, not mix match. We're not using AI to change his voice into saying something else that he never said. No, no, no. We're taking shit he actually said and showing people that the shit that he said, and that's making him look bad. Like, we're not doing anything but showing other people his own content. That's all we're doing, right? And he loves to think that, like, we're somehow using, like, AI to make him say shit he never said. I'm like, that's not the case at all. Like, no one does that, Phil. And it's just, like, such a bizarre, strange fucking train wreck. And once you enter that vortex, it's, like, fascinating in all the wrong ways. And, like, it's so fucking bizarre, man. It really is.
Family emergency, and I told people what happened. And some people took that the wrong way. Oh my God, Phil's telling people about
And
his
you just
girlfriend's
can't look
private
away.
business
And it's
knowledge,
like,
all right. At that point,
not his
there was
actual
already so much
gameplay
fucked up
or
stuff. I'm not gonna get into it
content, because his
stuff that happened
content's
between me and her
boring as
before
fuck.
that day
But
that
it's
had
like
really
all
gotten to
this
me,
shit.
all right? And basically, there was some very
The
hurtful things
drama
that
behind
happened
the
to me,
scenes, his
and I wasn't
insane
in the right
rants
mindset.
and
And no,
copes and
in
shit.
retrospect, should I have come back that day and immediately told everyone, oh, the reason that I had to leave my stream earlier today was because, you know, my girlfriend had a panic attack and had to be rushed to the hospital, and then I had to go there to help her or whatever? No, probably I shouldn't have done that, you know. At the same time, you guys didn't know she wasn't my girlfriend anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know that. So you thought, oh, how am I mistreating my girlfriend? In reality, she wasn't. This was actually someone who I was not really on good terms with. Okay.
And this is bullshit anyway. I honestly believe, that they were, like, still a couple up until he said all the stuff he said about her being in the hospital and spilled the beans and all that stuff. And I think that was actually what caused the final nail in the coffin for her to break up with him for good. That's what I think happened, not that they were already broken up, you know? I would totally let him stream with me if he wanted to. He just doesn't seem interested in streaming with me on that. He doesn't really know much about DSP stuff, and, like, I suggested I could, like, show you different, like, clips and just get you, like, knowledgeable about this, but he doesn't seem interested in it.
Okay, take me home. And that was it. And then she was gone.
He's kind of a shy person, though, too, so it's not like he doesn't really, like, stream or much or anything like that.
She had a panic attack, and he told the world about it. That's mental illness, and you shouldn't have. In reality, that wasn't the case. In reality, I was in the wrong mindset because of the breakup had already happened.
You still shouldn't have done it.
Out the door. But in reality, no, I probably shouldn't have said that publicly to everyone on the internet. Although, the same day, she posted up pictures on the internet about, yeah, I was in the hospital and I'm okay and everything. So already she had told the world, too, so it wasn't like she was angry at me for doing it or anything like that. Let's put it that way. Okay, so, all that going on behind the scenes, things are going good, right? So now, business-wise, things are going good. Business-wise, my streams are doing well. I'm making more money, right? Twitch is actually growing every month. I'm making more money on Twitch, which is good. People are liking the new interactive streams. People are liking the way I'm covering everything. April, May, June, into the summer. But my whole personal life is falling apart. I'm living here by myself. I don't have any in-person friends out here in Washington. The person who I moved out here to live with, we had a major falling out, broken up with. Not on good terms with, moved out in a huff, basically. And that's why a lot of people are saying, oh, Phil, why don't you rent out your extra room? That room is still full of her shit, which she's never coming back for. She left here in a huff, taking only the stuff she wanted, all right, and left a bunch of junk for me. And that room has shelving, a desk, a ton of shit from her business, a ton of stuff that's just lying around. I'm not talking, oh, tons of sellable soap that I can sell for a profit. It's junk. It's stuff she tried to make and it failed, but she never fucking out. It's ingredients, colorants, things that I'm never going to do anything with.
Colorants?
But I haven't had a chance because I'm working my ass off. I'm here every day, work to try to pay my bills and make ends meet because I'm by myself now. And I haven't even had a chance to clean out her office or do anything in there because I'm just too busy. And another thing that a lot of people don't understand about Washington State, like someone literally in the stream chat, just throw all that shit in the dumpster. This is a green state, folks. You don't even know what that means. There's no dumpsters here. The way it works is we have a regulated trash removal. That means I have one trash can. This is not an exaggeration. I have one trash can.
This sounds like bullshit, too.
Have that be removed every 2 weeks. One trash can every 2 weeks. If I want to throw out more than one trash can, they charge me $50 per can. Okay?
So do it if you have a lot of shit built up and you have
worth of shit there. If I were to empty out that room and throw it out, I'd be like $300, which I don't have. right? I'm already struggling to pay my bills to make ends meet. I don't have $300 to throw away this shit. And that's how it actually works in Washington. Yeah. So if I lived in Connecticut we had a dumpster. I would literally day one thrown all that shit the fuck out, and I would have been using that room for stuff for the business. And yeah, you know, potentially if things got real bad, could I rent the room? Yeah, I can't. I'm not even in a situation where I can even clean up that room and do anything with it. That's how bad it fucking is here when it comes to being green and everything. It's ridiculous, right? So here I am. I'm busting my ass every day on stream, trying to do entertaining stuff for you guys. And I am, and people are loving it, and the revenue on Twitch is going up and up. But behind the scenes, my whole life is falling apart, and I can't really do anything to change things or fix things because I'm stuck here working my ass off to pay the bills, and you guys weren't even aware of what was going on behind the scenes, right? All right, well, folks, I've now talked for an hour straight. By the way, let me do a couple shout-outs. Shout out to High Tech Specs, who did a 300-bit cheer and says, it's amazing how much you've been through since you started on YouTube. You suffered and lost much along the way, but you're still here and have found a way to overcome the negativity. That's why I think everyone will work out. Everything will work out with your house. Life finds a way, as Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park. Never give up. Thank you very much for that, High Tech Specs. And then I forgot did a 100-bit cheer and said, it's amazing how much you've been through since you started on YouTube. You've suffered and lost much along the way, but you're still here and have found a way to overcome the negativity. That's why I think everything will work out with your. Oh, wait a minute, it's the same cheer. What the hell? I got a cheer from High Tech Specs, and I've forgotten to have the same exact text. Maybe that's a glitch. I don't know if that's a glitch with Mugsy or whatever. That's bizarre. Thank you for the cheers, though, guys.
Fucking Mugsy, I remember that shit.
1080 to the 10-bit cheer and said Poonhammer. Okay. And very briefly, let me check and see if anyone had pledged. No, no one has pledged to Patreon yet today. Like I said, if you guys do pledge to my Patreon, I will give you a shout out on today's stream. Okay. I'm gonna take a break. As you hear, my voice is hoarse. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna make a tea for myself, and I'm gonna come back and continue because I'm not even done with my story. I'm only about halfway through what the stuff that's happened this year. Okay. So I'll be back. I'm going to take a break. If you're watching this live on stream, I'm going to take about a 15-minute break. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is the end of part 1. There'll be a part 2 and 3 moving on. So thank you, everyone, so far. Oh, my God. Thank you, guys. Whoever, again, my God, $1,000 tip. I hope it's legit. Thank you, everyone, for your support. I'll be back with more, all right? Thanks, everyone. 15-minute break. We'll come back, and I'll continue the story. Thank you.
What a little bitch.
Oh, my God. $1,000 tip. Holy shit. Yeah. Thank you. Sucking them off. Jesus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of my Christmas Day IRL event. What I'm doing is basically recapping the events of 2017 for you so you know exactly how my year went and how this was the most tumultuous year of my 35-year life. Again, I want to
so far. I would argue this year is like so much worse than any other year that he ever had. Like 2023 has been the worst year of his life, probably, in terms of streaming it.
We are now up to 322 subscribers, the most I've ever had on my Twitch channel, a record right now. So, thank you very much, guys, for your support. Seriously, again, if that tip from before was real, wow, thank you. A couple quick shout-outs to do. In order to, before we continue here, YOLO Dopper did a 10-bit cheer, and he says, do you think that the trolls had a bigger effect on your relationship, or was it the financial situation? By the way, I'm going to be sitting on hot tea to help my throat. Honestly, both.
No, I didn't hear that, Evie fan. Was that recently, or
like when I moved
this was back in the day that he did that?
I was making a certain amount of money. Okay. Yes, it went down when YouTube changed all their algorithms, and therefore my videos stopped showing up in related videos or whatever. But it wasn't until mid-2015 when the false copyright strikes forced me to remove videos from YouTube, all those pre-streams I was using fan art, that my YouTube channels completely plummeted, and I no longer got any natural, organic viewership from YouTube. Instead, it was just my hardcore fans watching my stuff, and that was it. So every year, you know, I would get, especially at the end of the year, I would usually get a giant spike in views just from people searching for the new games. I didn't even show up in YouTube search anymore in 2015 because I had to delete those videos because of the false copyright strikes. So the trolls caused the financial difficulties. Now the trolls also swatted me, DDoS attacked me.
It's always the trolls' fault, isn't it, Phil? Yes, it's all our fault.
It was constant. It was literally constant abuse. Everywhere we looked, there was abuse everywhere. And every opportunity that I had to do something positive, they would attack. Like I said, oh, I'm going to move to a new partnership company, attack the company. So now I can't be partnered with them anymore. It was like my whole life was permeated with negativity from this element, from these fucking people who literally made it their life's dedication to hurt me and my girlfriend at the time and my family and everyone around me. For what? What did I ever do?
A lot,
you know,
actually, Phil.
So the answer to your question is both, because the trolls caused the financial situation. Yes. Have I made bad financial decisions? Absolutely. But I would never be in the situation I'm in right now financially if it weren't for the trolls completely destroying my YouTube business. That's the bottom line.
No, you would have. You were, motherfucker. You were already on a fucking decline long before the whole "this is how you don't play" started shit. You would not. Do you honestly think that he honestly thinks that had the trolls never started, he would still be as popular as he once was on YouTube back in the fucking day when he first started shit? And that he never would have had a decline, even though he refused for how fucking long to fucking not use direct capture and shit. I'm like, bro, you were falling behind when you were popular. Like, and before the trolls even got started. So no, it's not all our fault. You were stubborn. You were lazy.
Okay.
You didn't want to
Now,
upgrade and
Soup
change
GG
with the
that mentioned Twitch
time.
here and said Death
So don't
Grips is
fucking get me
online with a bunch of
started on
tap
that
faces.
shit.
Okay, I don't even know what that means. Boomhauer8606 subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Boomhauer, for the sub. And then he tipped $10. He's a Merry Christmas, Bill. Sorry, I keep forgetting to resub. I don't get on Twitch much. Thank you not only for the resub, but for the tip. Very much appreciated, Boomhauer. Thank you. Jack Spartacus also did a 15-bit cheer. Thank you, Jack Spartacus, for the cheer. Okay, so now we can continue with my story, folks. All right. So, mid-2017. Behind the scenes, things have fallen apart. I've broken up with my girlfriend of 5 years, my fiance of a few weeks, who then I broke up with. But to the face of everyone, right? To what you guys are seeing, everything's going good. I'm trying to put on this happy face every day, all right, to the public. Even though behind the scenes, I'm depressed, I'm drinking, I'm not doing well, all right? I wasn't. My whole schedule was fucked up. I couldn't fall asleep anymore. I was up till 5, 6 in the morning some days and then getting up at like 10, 11 to work. And I was drinking at night, which isn't good. I was basically in a real bad place, all right?
You drink every day anyway, though, so that's not any different.
Then, randomly, I meet someone. And I'm not going to give you guys the details. All right, I'm just not going to give you any personal details or whatever about how any of this stuff came to fruition, because you know what's going to happen. The more information I give is the more fuel for the assholes, and the more that they'll try to hunt down.
Are you going to say that, I stole Kat from her boyfriend and caused her to cheat on me with him? Cheat on him with me? Is that what you're going to say? Because that's the truth right there.
I'm not going to give you any personal information. What I will tell you is this. Over the summer of 2017, I met someone. Now, this person was someone who I just started talking with on a daily basis.
This person was
going through a really tough time. And incidentally, she also was going through a really tough time. We were both going through really bad things at the time. And what ended up happening was we ended up kind of being there for each other at a time when I was incredibly vulnerable and lonely, and she was going through stuff, and I was able to help her, and she was able to help me. All right. And initially, that's really just what it began as. And then what we ended up finding out as we talked more is that we pretty much had a ton in common. When it came to our personal lives, but also our pasts and stuff like that. We had both been through a lot.
We're both abusers.
And we were both people who were looking for something way different than what we had previously had in regards to companionship. Okay. And I'm trying to figure out how I can tell you guys, again, without revealing any personal info. Basically, over the course of this year, all right, what started as just like a friendship budded into something else, into me finally getting to spend some time with this woman. And, you know, after spending personal time with the woman...
And I realized I needed a beard to hide it. The fact that I'm gay?
To the point where now, and for, I'd say probably for the past 4 or 5 months, we're constantly talking. We're constantly in contact, supporting each other. You know, she has done things for me. And
hey, El Sandwich, how you doing?
I really feel... I'll be honest with you.
Evie, Evie fan, I can do that. I just will have to try to find those videos and clips again. I don't remember...
We're soulmates.
Where that was. I'll have to check Pig Go and try to find.
Sometimes you just meet someone and there's so much going on.
But I can do that
together, and or when you talk, right? And not to say that we're perfect people and we're absolutely the perfect match, because I don't think anyone is on this planet. I don't think you're ever going to find.
You're definitely not the perfect match.
You're compatible at all times, and you know what I mean. That's not what it's about. Actually finding someone who you work with means that you find a perfect balance. Maybe this person
like,
has
what the
attributes and traits that
fuck?
you don't, but maybe you have a lot of commonalities as well. And when you two come together, you become kind of a perfect mesh. You know what I mean?
That's not what happened.
And that's kind of how I feel right now. Now, this is someone who I started talking with over the summer. Like I said, I've had the opportunity to spend 3 really nice long visits with her, and or a few other things.
All on your dime, because remember, he was begging and like fabricating this tax issue. Wait, let me back up a second here. He was fabricating a tax issue so that he could get and doing like marathons to raise money to save the house and everything. But then he was using that money to fly this bitch out there to spend time with her. And this was just the same time the escort story was going on. That's why people thought he had an escort. I'll be right back, guys. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Thank you very much, though, L Sandwich. I really do appreciate that. I honestly don't think I'm very good compared to all these other detractors, though, honestly. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, no. So at the same time this was going on, the whole escort saga was going on, and people thought he actually had an escort, and technically he fucking did, because he was paying money. He was paying money to fly this bitch in and out to spend time with her. The only difference was she was willing to do so. She wasn't getting paid extra just to do so, right? I mean, she still he was still paying her money from the fans that were donating money, thinking that it was going to his taxes when really it was going to fly her out.
Someone who I can every day go.
So that was all a lie anyway.
This relationship, and especially you have a really bad day, and you really need that support, and that person can't be physically there for you. That is huge, but. You know, we're toughing it out and we're finding a way, especially, you know, when we're not together. Like I said, this morning, the first thing I did when I woke up is I talked to my girlfriend. And it feels so different. It really, honestly, feels different than any other relationship I've ever been in. It feels to me
because like it's only your second relationship ever. That's why.
You know what I mean? Rather than, oh, it's just someone I like to spend time with. It's more like an actual, like I said, soulmates. That's how I feel when I think about it.
Oh, my first ever romantic attraction to someone. Holy shit.
I've said this year, some people have said this year that, you know, wow, Phil broke up with his ex-girlfriend of 5 years and immediately jumped into another relationship, and now he's rushing it. Now he's talking about having this girl move in with him. How ridiculous. It's obvious that he's just, you know, he's rushing in, blah, 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 blah. The truth of the matter, folks, again, is that I broke up with my ex-girlfriend in April, all right? So we're talking, there was a good 2-3 months where I wasn't talking to anybody. And then I met this girl randomly. It was chance that it was literally a chance, complete randomness. I wasn't looking for anyone. She wasn't looking for anyone. It was just
like weren't you like stalking her Twitch or whatever? No, she had a question about OBS and Twitter, and he's like hopped into her DMs basically. He's like, "Oh, I can help you with that." Wow! And then they got to talking.
It naturally happened. It wasn't something that was forced in or anything like that. And by the way, it wasn't like, "Oh my God, she's a starstruck fan of mine, and now she's madly in love with me because she likes my YouTube videos." It wasn't like that at all. Okay, it was more like we started talking and we clicked, you know, talking to each other. It was a natural attraction via, you know, having that naturalness rather than someone who's like, oh, I was a big fan of Phil beforehand and now I'm a starstruck fan who gets to be his girlfriend or anything like that. It wasn't like that at all. All right.
She still watched your content though. She was still technically a fan of yours.
Without revealing too many details. Behind the scenes, starting in the summer, all right, the summer time, I started to see someone else on and off when we had time and when we could make available to be together because, like I said, she doesn't live here. She does not live in Seattle. And she's not always able to come out here to see me, you know, because of circumstances. I started to have this new relationship.
Because she was living with a boyfriend at the time? Because you made her cheat on it?
I didn't even tell you guys about it until, what, a few weeks ago? But maybe a month ago? I don't think it was a month ago. I think it was a few weeks ago, right? Where I really revealed to everyone that, you know, that I had a girlfriend. And, boy, was that tough. It was tough because, you know me, I got a big black mouth. I like to tell you guys everything, right? And, man, was it this year in particular, keeping things a secret about what's going on with my ex-girlfriend and that relationship falling apart, and then not telling you about my new, you know, it was real tough to keep stuff secret. But I did my best, right? I really did.
Man, it's hot in here. I turned the heat down, and it's still fucking hot. Like, holy shit.
Even though she wasn't able to be here every day, I finally had moral support again, which I needed so much. And you guys may have noticed that I started getting more positive. I started feeling better. I started coming out, right? The streams ended up being even more positive. You may have noticed about middle of this year, all of a sudden, I started to not be drinking all the time anymore. And I started to, you know, even though my sleep schedule was thrown off, it's a lot different when you're talking to someone all night and having a positive conversation and just having a good interaction with someone versus you're all alone and depressed, right? So, that being said, let's start talking about the summer months, because during the summer months this year, I started doing some really fun stuff. For example,
we're already on 1.5 speed. And it still sounds like it's going too slow.
Twitch ended up giving me massive popularity. If you guys aren't aware, it was during that run that I ended up getting hundreds, if not more, regular viewers on a daily basis. I got a ton of new subscribers during that time period. It really was that second run through Scholar, or the second run through Dark Souls 2 with the Scholar of the First Sin added stuff, that people really started turning out for streams and liking my stuff on the regular. And a lot of those people who came out for those streams started coming back. And it was funny. It was actually funny because that Anonymous, who was a stream regular and a moderator, that was when he started watching.
Big ups, Anonymous.
They've become big fans and viewers, and that was awesome, right? The summertime when it was dead and there was nothing really going on with gaming,
being a secret detractor the whole time,
and that was a really cool time for me.
And a weirdo, but man.
But if you're not aware, guys, that was also a time when I got more false copyright strikes, right? It wasn't bad enough that being swatted, DDoS attack, false copyright strikes, destroying my YouTube channels in 2010, my whole 5-year relationship falling apart and breaking apart because of troll activities and all the stress that caused by it over the year. That wasn't enough. Phil's still here. We got us to get him again. More false copyright strikes against DSPGaming over the course of the summer. Now, I was terrified because I was with a new partnership company in Curse, all right? And I was very worried that I was going to lose this partnership because Curse has very, very strict rules about getting copyright strikes against your channel and all of that. And they say if you get copyright strikes against your channel, you will lose your Curse partnership. And I knew I had no one else to partner with because everyone else didn't want this negative stigma associated with their company because of these trolls coming after me on a daily basis. Okay? So, yeah, it was terrible. And of course, it was these copyright strikes from Rockstar, which I knew were fake. I knew they were fake to begin with.
Hold on one second. I'll be right
like,
back.
I was a bitch getting them cleared up because I basically had to convince YouTube that they didn't know what the hell they were doing, and trying to tell YouTube anything that they're doing something wrong is like trying. I might as well talk to this fucking door to my left here, because the door will respond more often in a positive manner than me telling YouTube you guys screwed something up and you need to fix it. Okay? In the entirety that I've been on YouTube, almost 10 years, once ever did YouTube respond to me telling them they did something wrong and fix it, and it was this fucking summer. You tell me how this happened, but YouTube actually reviewed the situation and said, "Oh, you're right. We didn't do due diligence, and it's our fault. These are false copyright strikes, and we're removing them immediately." It was like pigs were flying over my house, volcanoes were erupting, the sky had fallen, hell had become an ice cube. I couldn't fucking believe it. Because every other time this had happened to me, right, I had to find my, like, for example, the false copyright strikes in 2015 that forced me to delete videos, right, completely fucked over my business. But here we are, 2017, YouTube actually fixed the problem. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. So, for once in my life, right, I felt like I had won. And just think about how positive I felt. I had a new
For once in his
girlfriend
life, how
who got
pathetic
me.
is that?
I got her, and we felt like we were soulmates.
Once in my
Copyright strikes
life.
come across my channel, and I'm able to get rid of them immediately and take care of them because YouTube actually listens for once. By the way, I talked to Curse about it, and Curse said, "Phil, we know who you are. We know what you've been through. Under no circumstances will we ever terminate our partnership agreement with you until there's a discussion, and we've determined you've actually done wrongdoing."
And they did anyway. They fucking did anyway.
They're not going to just drop me like a hot rock.
No, they did. They still did.
My partnership. I was like, oh my god. You know, I was getting all this positivity.
Can't you just ignore that and skip and not actually manually review all those reports? Nope, can't. Sorry, bye.
If only things if Twitch kept growing the way that it was growing, I knew that by the end of the year, I'd be making a lot more money. I'd be able to maybe make ends meet, pay all my bills, and even maybe start making extra money.
Honestly, you didn't even need a
lot better, and I could stop being in such terrible debt and all these problems going on and everything, right? So for the
like a Machinima curse at that point in time, anyway.
But there's always a twist. So I'll get to that in a moment. Let's do some shout outs because people have been doing stuff. Shout out to Yoichi McCree, who did a $2 tip. He says, maybe one day I'll reveal it, but right now I'm not going to. Atlas Telemon did a 50-bit cheer, and he says, fix that.
Wait, what happened? What?
So hold on a second here, guys. Hold on. Let's see what's going on. I think I can fix it on the fly. Hold on. I think I know what's wrong.
Okay.
What's going on? I was asking you guys earlier if the pop-ups were working, and no one really answered. But now it seems like they're working. Okay.
Skip ahead a little bit.
All right. Very nice. Sounds good. All right.
Very nice.
So Atlas Telemon did 50-bit cheer, and he says, how do the NR of followers and total views weigh in with Twitch search? I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person. I'm relatively new to Twitch. I've only been streaming on Twitch for
I don't know how my job works, guys.
I don't know anything about how any of the behind the scenes. By the way, I'm taking the hat off for a little bit because my head's hot. I don't know anything about the behind the scenes stuff here on Twitch at all. I don't know. Unlike YouTube, I have a little bit of insight. I have no clue how the Twitch stuff works. So I don't know how my channel shows up in search or whatever. I do know that people come in all the time though, and they're like, "Oh, you know, Phil was high up there in the rankings for a certain."
Look at how much more hair he had back then. Like you still had the like this side being way more receding than this side, but goddamn, he actually had fucking hair back then.
It's new viewers and stuff from that, so.
And it's fucking like goatee, yeah, it's still missing pieces here and there, but it's a lot more filled in than
Captain
it is
DCW,
now.
Subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Captain. Oh, it's working. I fixed it. There you go.
I fixed it, guys.
I'm gonna move it. Hold on. There we go. Now you guys can actually read the messages because if I put it down there, it's gonna mess with my Twitter handle. See that? There we go. It works. Captain DCW, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Captain DCW, for subscribing. I appreciate that. In fact, now we're up to 324 subscribers. We've reached another new milestone. Thank you, everyone. 324 subs and growing. The most I've ever had. Thank you, guys. And wow, oh my God, we have over 1,000 viewers on the stream right now. Thank you for sharing your Christmas day with me. I appreciate it. Let's keep going because people want to hear the stories and stuff. Solid Shock did a 10-bit cheer.
No one really wants to hear that, though, Phil. No one does.
Another 10-bit cheer to let me know the pop-ups weren't working. Thank you for that because I fixed them. Fluttershy did a 10-bit cheer. Says, can you give Freddie Freeman a shout-out? Sure. Merry Christmas, Freddie Freeman. Corn G did 100-bit cheers. Said Merry Christmas. Thank you, Corn G. Captain DCW did a 50-bit cheers.
Still doing shout-outs.
I think it was Kohl's. I'm not positive. I think we found this at Kohl's. And they had a bunch of weird stuff, like cats and stuff. And then there's everyone with a dragon. And we're both looking at it like, why in the holy hell would there be a Christmas dragon? It was so random. And my girlfriend was like, we got to get that one. That one is one of the best ones we've seen. It's just so different, so weird. Why the hell would you have a dragon on a Christmas sweater? So we ended up getting it. And I love it. I love this sweater. It's cool. All right. Oh, Now, I got a $1 tip from Tevin. Now, who knows if it's the real Tevin, who's a fucking another hemorrhoid on my
It
ass,
wasn't.
right? He asks, did you mention Laveria? No, I didn't. You know what? I should. Because even though that shit actually happened during the whole time when I had partnered with Curse.
Who knows if it's the
and I
real
was in the midst
Tevin or
of
not?
a
It
breakup with
wasn't.
my ex-girlfriend.
I don't think
all
it
right?
was.
Here's what happened. A company came to me, all right, and they promised me the world. They said,
You got honey dick, bitch.
Partnership. We're going to pay you a higher percentage than what you're getting paid with Curse. We want your channels because we see the amount of traffic you get, and we have a relatively small network, and we feel that bringing your channels into our fold will give us way more traffic. And we feel that this is going to be beneficial to us to do this. Okay. And I said, well, you know, basically you're telling me exactly what I want to do.
Could you
All right,
go
this was
fuck
about,
yourself?
I believe, I can't remember if it was March or April at this point. I think it was April, but I'm not 100% positive on that. All right. So during this time period, this company, and by the way, they didn't call themselves Laveria or anything like that. They were some other company I'd never heard of before. Were in contact with me, and I had multiple contacts. I was talking to 2 people there. They were trying to recruit me, basically, promising me, oh, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that. For me, the only thing I really cared about was they said they were going to get me a managed partnership right away, and I knew that would be great, because now I could still play Nintendo games and keep all the ad revenue. Nintendo wouldn't steal all the ad revenue from my videos. I would be able to not have to worry about content ID matches. Basically, I'd be in the clear to upload whatever I wanted under a managed partnership, and I would be able to make all the profit off of that, okay? Now, what I decided to do, all right, was I said, here's what I'm going to do. And I did this for myself. I said, I don't know if I can trust these guys or not. Right now, I'm literally not doing anything important with my YouTube channel, KO Gaming. In fact, at this time, remember when I was adapting to this new streaming method where I was focused on streaming exclusively? I decided that I was just going to focus on that and not worry about edited content at all. So my KO Gaming edited gaming channel, edited gameplay channel, edited reviews and stuff went on hold while I was focusing on trying to get my streams to blow up on Twitch. So I said, gee, here's what I'll do. I will test what these
And it was all wasted effort.
And if they do what they promise on KO Gaming, all right, then I will bring all of my channels over to the fold. However, during my plan to do this, they basically said they wanted to prove that I was all in, and they wanted me to unlink both my DSPGaming and KO Gaming channels from Curse. So I did, all right, I unlinked both channels from Curse, and I took KO Gaming, and I said, okay, KO Gaming is unlinked right away. I can link this to your network right away. Give me the information, I'll link it to your network, and then let's get into the managed partnership right away. All of a sudden, I get an invite, all right, on this channel from Laveria Media. And I'm like, who's Laveria Media? I've never even talked to this company before. So I asked the guy, he's like, oh, don't worry, that's our parent company. And what you do is you partner with them, but we're still going to deal with us. But if you partner with them, then we'll get you everything we promised you. And already immediately I'm skeptical. I'm like, this can't be legit. But I wanted to give him benefit of the doubt because I'd already gone through the trouble of unlinking both my DSPGaming and KO Gaming channels from Curse.
Yeah, you already ran away from Curse and be like, go, fuck you guys. I found a better one.
And I waited 1 day, and I waited 2 days, and nothing's happening. And I emailed these guys. I'm like, you promised me you were going to get me a managed partnership. When's it coming? Oh, don't worry. We're working on that for you right now. 3 days passed. Still, I like, guys, my DSPGaming isn't partnered with anyone. I'm making no money on it. I need to know what the hell's going on here because you promised me the world and you're not getting it for me. All of a sudden, I get a completely different response. Oh, well, we're eventually going to get you that managed partnership. But we need to bring you into the fold first, and you need to be with us for months and months. So we can build up rapport, and we can say that your channels are part of our network, and it'll give us attention and all of that. And all, you know what I mean? And at that point, I knew it was bullshit. And I said, fuck this. And I went back to the guy immediately. And I said, you lied. I'm done with you. As of right now, I'm
You lied. You're a liar.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this.
Partner now with a company on YouTube, you have the ability to sever the contract with any partnership company. And within 30 days, they're done. Even no matter, regardless of anything you've signed or anything, once you delink your channel, the whole thing is done. Okay? So the reason they did this is because of companies like this that were lying and cheating and rigging people into these partnerships and then never releasing the channels. So I told the company, screw you, I'm done with you. I don't know who Laveria is. I never agreed to be with them. And by the way, I never signed a contract to ever work with any company called Laveria Media. So legally, Laveria had no legal right to even have a partnership on any of my channels. I had signed paperwork with a different company completely. Okay? And by the way, I should mention this, their contracts were a joke. You could tell the contract they had copy and pasted from another company's contract because there were errors in grammar and there were things missing from the contract that were critical parts of information that I had to have them add in and shit. It was a joke. Basically, they were fake. All right? It was a fake bullshit thing. And luckily, I was smart enough to say, let's just try it with KO Gaming first because I don't really care about that channel right now. And I did not go forward with DSPGaming on purpose.
Clearly, you didn't care about it. You gave up on it.
I severed the contact with this company and I never talked to them again. And that was it. Now, apparently, my detractors at the time decided to do entire podcasts where they brought in employees of Laveria Media and the CEO of Laveria Media, and they said, oh, I never talked to any of those people, ever. I never had any contact with any of them, and I never talked to anyone who ever worked at Laveria Media. So literally those entire podcasts and things that those idiots did were 100% illegitimate and a waste of time. So if you watch that, you wasted your time, and shame on you.
Not necessarily if it was still entertaining. If it was still entertaining, and the people watching it were entertained and had fun, then it wasn't a waste of time, right? Because all that shit's way more entertaining than the shit you do, so...
I never worked with Laveria Media. The only thing I did, KO Gaming was temporarily for like 2 days linked to them, and then I unlinked them myself because I had no contract and no contact with any company called Laveria Media. Okay. So, there you go. That's what happened with that. That was another fucked up thing that happened to me during the whole time period of transition between like March to May. By the way, this was all happening again when I was breaking up with my ex, so it was just adding fuel to the fire and more stress for
Give
me.
me fuel,
on top
give
of
me
everything.
fire,
And
give
then
me that
luckily,
which I
I went
desire.
right back to Curse. I explained the situation, and Curse said, "All right, we'll take it back. You know, it wasn't your fault what happened. You know, Curse has been great. Twitch has been great. I love the companies, and I'm looking forward to staying with them for a long time. I really do. All right." Shout
Didn't
out to
last very
Swag
long,
Score,
did it?
who subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Swag Score, for the sub. Nick tipped me $1 and says, I bet the company that claims they worked under Laveria wasn't a real company. It was actually a troll who forged your signature or applied to Laveria on your behalf with your information. That's why the contracts were wrong. Maybe. It could be. Scrupula did a 10-bit cheer. Said, Merry Christmas. Sub 4 Levo did an 1100-bit cheer. Thank you, Sub 4 Levo. Said, been watching since 2008. I hope 2018 is a better year for you. So do I, and thank you very much for the cheer. Super Blind Man resubbed for the 13th month in a row. Thank you for over a year of support, Super Blind Man.
Fuck you,
Merry
Super
Christmas,
Blind
Phil.
Man.
Your top-notch entertainment is a wonderful addition to the day. Thank you very much for your support, Super Blind Man. And guess what? We're now up to 325 subscribers. We're still growing. Amazing. Thank you guys very much.
Yo, those gifted subs really help, and the Amazon Prime subs help them a lot,
really says a lot about your determination. You're an inspiration to all of us fans. Merry Christmas.
Like a lot.
Merry Christmas to you, Dean, and thank you for the tip and the sentiment. All right.
Dean!
Let me get a lozenge, and we're going to continue on with the story. Because now we're talking about summer of 2017. Because I told you about meeting my current girlfriend, how amazing that was. I told you how I overcame the copyright strikes in the summer of 2017, and how everything was going good with the streaming. But then things took a turn for the worse. So let's talk about that. All right, let me get a lozenge. Hold on. Here we go. Can't get this bag open.
Really?
Oh, lozenge. Fuck. Complicated. Jesus Christ.
Only you can turn something like that into a complicated thing. Not that hard.
All right. Holy moly. It's not a cough drop, though. Stinking versus a cough drop. It's not. This is a regular. This is a lozenge. I do have cough drops. I have menthol in them, but I took one earlier. I don't want to take too many of those because it make my stomach go. Ugh. All right. So let's continue. Summer of 2017. Everything's going good, right? Copyright strikes. They're gone. I got a new girlfriend behind the scenes. Things are going good. And my Twitch streams are on the up and up. I'm paying all my bills. I'm starting to raise enough funds where it's not an issue. And I'm like, damn, things are really going good. all of a sudden, all right, I start to notice, and by the way, I apologize for the loss, and just not going to bother. It's going to make me sound weird. All of a sudden, I start to get all of this spam mail in the physical mail, not email. I've always gotten spam emails for my public, email accounts and stuff like that. That's just going to happen.
Oh, this is the whole text
my mailbox
thing,
is starting
isn't
to pile up with all this new mail. And I'm like, what is all this mail? What could this be? What is it? It's publications for like what you would send to a company. So for example, Contractors Monthly, a magazine for a doctor, Golfer's Digest, all things like an athlete would get this, a contractor would get this, a doctor would get this. I start getting, I'm not even exaggerating. Every week I'm getting upwards of 50 pieces of mail like this. And the thing that tips me off that something's going wrong, it says on the address, Phil Burnell, DSPGaming. Now wait a minute. I have never had a registered business, meaning DSPGaming, my YouTube channel, even though it's trademarked, I do trademark it. It's never been a registered business.
So you registered it as an LLC. Okay. Was that afterwards that he registered it as an LLC?
So
I don't
why
remember.
would I get all of a sudden getting mail that says DSPGaming? It doesn't make sense. And I've started to realize this is more troll activity. Some troll.
It's more troll activity. Like, what the fuck, dude?
List to get every possible free fucking business mailing possible in the state of Washington. So I'm getting tons and tons of this shit in the mail, okay? It's one thing if it's like one piece a week. No, my mailbox is full after like 3 or 4 days with this amount of junk mail. While this is happening, I start getting tweets, I start getting YouTube comments, and I start getting emails saying, Phil, your days are done. We know that you've been committing tax fraud, and we are going to get you.
You were committing tax fraud, yes.
So all this naturally starts happening around the same time period. I think we're starting to see a pattern emerge, okay? So, I'm like, I think nothing of it. What am I going to do about it? Nothing, right? I just got to go with the flow. And so if you guys remember, through the months of July and August, summer was slow, but I was able to do things like my Sonic Marathon, right? I was able to do a bunch of stuff that was really positive and really fun, made a lot of money for me, which was great. And then the new releases started to hit in August, and I was playing them, and things were going really good and everything, right? Everything's going good. So then, everything's going fine. Everything's rolling. Everything's feeling very positive and good.
Everything's just
all of a sudden, in September, again, as things are going positively, right? As things are going well. In September, I get a letter in the mail. And it's a letter from the Washington State Department of Revenue.
Nah.
I know about this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Made her business, her soap-making business, all right?
And if you made it so that she had to register as a business, why the fuck didn't you register yourself as a business then? You knew it was still technically a fucking business.
As a business in the state of Washington, because she was selling physical products. She was doing commerce over the internet for physical product. And therefore, she had to register. She had to pay business taxes.
You did
once a year. The
too.
good news is, the business taxes aren't high. Like, for example, I'll give you some perspective. When I lived in Connecticut, there's a state income tax.
Oh, it's not high then. Okay, well, then you don't have to any way to complain about it then, huh?
The state doesn't do anything with that fucking money that's worth taking that much money from you. It's a ripoff. The business tax in Washington is very low. So, I knew all about the Washington State Department of Revenue. However, when I moved here in 2014, in writing, I even have this in writing. I saved the email on purpose in case I ever needed to bring it up. I had a tax attorney at the time who lived in Connecticut with me, right? Same state. He had always done my taxes for me. He had always filed my federal and my state income taxes.
You notice how he always says, I have this in writing, I have this in writing, I have this in writing, but he won't show anyone this in writing. He won't show us the fucking email that he keeps talking about it. I have this in writing, I have this in writing. I won't actually show you guys, but I do have it in writing. You just got to believe me.
I'm now moving across the country. Should I get a new tax attorney in Washington State? Because obviously that tax attorney would be more versed in the tax codes and things out there in case there are additional taxes and things I need to pay. And he literally in writing said, no, I am able to take care of all your tax needs moving forward. And I did research and I found out that in the state of Washington, there's no state income tax. What you do is unique and it's not considered something that you would have to register as a business for. Therefore, all you need to do when you go out there is pay federal income taxes, period, and you're good. And that's what I did since I moved here in 2014 all the way, until now, okay? So, there you go. By the way, to clear the air here, because a lot of people have misconceptions, my tax attorney in the state of Connecticut was a certified public accountant, was a dean of accounting at a college for several years, and was one of the highest accredited guys in the state of Connecticut.
And was probably just a family friend of his.
Who I just got. And by the way, I paid this guy thousands of dollars to do my taxes.
Thousands
I think the most he ever charged me was like over $1,500 one year to do my taxes properly. So that being said, this was supposed to be like one of the best guys in Connecticut to do taxes. So when I'm paying him that much and he has that much credit and that much accreditation, and he tells me, don't worry, Phil, I'll take care of you, I trust him. Boy, am I fucking stupid, right? Boy, am I stupid
for you are
someone that's supposed to be held in high regard and high respect. Unbelievable, okay? Now, hold on. Some shout-outs. Shout out to Retro Jim.
Oh my god, stop with the shout-outs.
Really playing more ads for Twitch added revenue, say in between matches and fighting games. The bottom line, folks, the more ads you play, the more annoying your stream is. And ad revenue on Twitch is not great. Even if I were to run a ton of ads, I barely make any money. I'd rather just have entertaining streams for you guys than have ads. And the bottom line is, you guys cheer, sub, and tip enough that I don't really have to worry about running ads. That's why you don't see a lot of ads on my
I beg you guys enough for tips that I don't have to run ads.
Whoa, I got a $100 tip
anyway.
from Alcade. And he says, Merry Christmas, my dude. You've been through a lot over the years. I watched you since Web of Shadows. Haven't been able to keep up with the stream since I'm older now. Adulting sucks, but keep up the good work. Thank you, Alcade, for the $100 tip. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for helping me.
So fucking pathetic, dude.
Goledin Silence, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Goledin Silence, for the sub. And we're now up to 326 subs, the most I've ever had at once on Twitch here, folks. Very nice, right? Very nice.
Very nice.
Okay. By the way, a bunch of idiots in stream chat are spamming. Why would Phil pay Leanna's bill? Why did Phil pay Leanna's hospital bill? I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Sounds like you're listening to detractors because you're stupid. Sorry, it just sounds like you're stupid. Because I didn't say I ever did that. Okay. All right, let's continue. So, I get this letter in the mail in September. Now, keep in mind, this is in the midst, the hardcore gaming season is starting up. I'm busy as hell. You guys remember, I was going overtime with streams and everything. I was going real heavy into the hardcore gaming season.
That doesn't exist.
This letter, all right? I get this letter. And the letter says, we suspect that you are doing business in the state of Washington under the name DSPGaming. Okay? We believe that you need to register and pay state business and occupation taxes. Please answer all of these questions for us regarding you and your business. Now, I get this letter. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I immediately write my tax attorney from Connecticut to let him know that I got this. I answer all their basic questions. Now, originally, they wanted me to fill out all these forms and shit. And I'm like, I don't even know if I can answer this information about how much I made each year or whatever. That's what my tax attorney does. So I basically called the guy, left him a voicemail. We played voice tag for a little bit. Finally, he emailed me. And I said, good, now we can finally talk and be in detail rather than just fucking doing voicemails and never reaching each other. So I answered all his initial questions via email, okay? In the meantime, my tax attorney comes back to me and he goes, all right, so what kind of questions did he ask you and all that? And I tell him. He's like, okay, let's see how he responds. So this guy from the state of Washington, he responds and he says, well, it's not clear, but based off the initial information you provided me, I think that you should have registered for a business in 2014. You should be paying these taxes.
Probably should have, huh?
Therefore, here's this form. Register to become a business. And now I'm going to calculate this like, whoa. I am not, I have not dealt with any of this shit. I'm going to turn you over to my tax attorney who's going to handle all this. So I did. I had my tax attorney fill out this information form and everything so that he could communicate with the guy from the state of Washington. This was all going on through September, early October, okay? So, finally, late September, I go to my tax attorney in Connecticut. I didn't go to him, but I emailed him again. I said, what is going on? You told me when I moved
What's going on, dude? I'm
found
scared.
out that all I owed was federal taxes. What, this guy seems to be really going after me now, okay, for this. What the hell is going on? And he comes back to me and says, Phil, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, I think that you should get a tax attorney in your state because it looks like this guy's coming after you. And You'll know better than me. To which I said, that is bullshit.
Hey,
Because I
bullshit,
trusted you and
dude. I don't know
paid
what
you
the fuck.
to do my taxes properly, and now you're basically just throwing your arms up into the air and saying, oh,
Well,
no
yeah.
responsibility here, right? Now, the bottom line is, I think this guy knows that he's in trouble. I think he knows that if I were to go after
Bottom line
him for
is
this, that he could get into major trouble, because I actually have email correspondence with him proving that he told me
that's the
that no, he could
bottom
handle my
line.
tax
Because Stone
needs in the
Cold
future,
said
okay?
so.
And that he had researched. I even have it in writing. I researched, and there's no state income tax, therefore all you need to do is pay federal tax. I have this in writing.
So
However,
show us.
The problem here, folks, is that legally, all I could ever go after this tax attorney for is, number one, fees, and number two, interest that have accrued on taxes that are considered unpaid. All right.
Yes.
The fees and interest, maybe a couple $1,000s. Who knows? I don't know yet. I don't even know what I owe yet. I don't know what I owe yet until calculations are done, which is apparently going to take place in January. Okay. But that being said, to go to court and sue this guy for whatever the fees and interest is not worth it. It's going to cost me more to actually file the lawsuit and go after this guy, and to the time investment to go to court for years to sue this guy is going to be more than what I'm going to get. So
AKA, he already looked into it and like wanted to sue him,
for it because it's not worth it.
and then
if I were rich,
someone told him
on
this.
principle, maybe I would go after him. But at this point, it doesn't make any sense for me to do so, because all I'm ever going to get is pay more and do more work and be away from streaming and everything every day that I need to do to pay my bills to try to go after this guy. So literally, this guy gets away scot-free. All right, he gets away scot-free. Nothing I can do about it.
Nothing I can do about it, dude.
Would probably be considered illegal, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just screwed in that regard, all right? So, I went in late September, and I saw a new tax attorney here in the state of Washington. And that tax attorney basically told me the following. He said, there's good news and bad news. The good news is, your tax attorney in Connecticut always did your taxes correctly for what he actually filed. So when he was filing the state income taxes in Connecticut, he did them right. When he was filing my federal taxes every year, he did them right. So I don't ever have to worry about, oh no, in 3 years' time, now the federal government will come after me to bite me in the ass.
But you did, though. That happened to you anyway.
No, your stuff was done correctly. Don't worry about that. But, yeah, basically, no matter what, if you're making money, you're going to pay taxes somehow, okay? So even though I don't pay state income tax, at least some of my income should have been considered taxable income since I moved here. And yeah, I should have been paying some kind of tax to the state of Washington. Now, how much of what I make is considered taxable for the business and what isn't, that's what's still under review right now, okay? That's what's still in a state of flux, and I don't know what I owe yet or anything. I'll know, again, by hopefully mid-January, I'll have all this information. But basically, I got screwed. And this guy is now, I'm in a situation where I've been told.
And then this is like where he like
no matter what, it's gonna be thousands of dollars.
Milks his fans for like trying to like do marathons and stuff
for all of 2017. So whatever I
make
by the end of this year, there's gonna be a calculation done. I don't know if it's gonna be all of my income or some of my income, whatever it is. A calculation will be done, and I'm gonna owe that amount of money due at the end of January, no matter what. Okay. Also, I'm gonna be billed by my tax attorney for all the work that he's been doing. He's going to make that calculation for me. He's also going to be working with the state of Washington on the back taxes. Now, that means taxes that I should have been paying since mid-2014 when I moved here until the end of 2016, where those were all unpaid and considered overdue. So 2.5 years of back taxes, plus fees, plus interest, all that accrued. There's going to be a big lump there that I owe. Now,
a big old lump.
What I'm hoping is when I explain to the state of Washington my situation, that I'm literally barely making ends meet, that every month, I'm making minimum payments on a lot of things right now just to make every payment every month. And I'm not in a situation where I have any liquidity. I don't have the money to pay these taxes. That they'll put me on a payment plan that every month I pay a little bit, and maybe it'll be for 3 years, 5 years, who knows? But every month I'm paying these off gradually, all right? And my current new tax attorney now says he thinks he's fairly confident that he'll be able to work with the state of Washington and get them to agree to do something like that, all right? Not 100%, but he's hoping, okay? So we'll see. So that I don't even know yet. And I've actually was told by the state of Washington.
You don't know yet.
That they don't even know when they're going to have that information done. Like, they can't even give me a date. Maybe it'll be January, maybe it won't. I don't even know when the hell they're going to do this calculation and tell me, here's what you owe, and let's put you on a payment plan. So it could spring at any moment. It could be due January as well, but I don't know, because they haven't assured me of any date when they're going to do that work and give me that information. All right. Now, interesting to know, I asked the state of Washington, that initial letter you sent me, and you said DSPGaming, right? How did you get word that I had anything associated with
How would you know I was dodging taxes this whole time?
And that's when I was told that someone in my name had registered me for the business mailing list for the state of Washington. That's why during the summer I had suddenly started receiving all of these business mailings in the mail for contractors and doctors and everything. And what the state of Washington does is once a year it reviews that information, and they had received an anonymous tip that someone was doing business with DSPGaming, and here's your evidence, check the mailing list. So they did, they saw that, and that's when they started to investigate me. So, interestingly enough, right? Interestingly enough, I started getting troll messages during the summer saying that taxes were going to bite me in the butt, and the next thing you know, an anonymous tip comes into the state of Washington, and by September, they're investigating me. I wonder if there's some correlation there. So once again, trolls, right? Even with everything going on.
Those fucking
they knew
trolls,
how messed up
man.
my life had been. They knew that I'd broken up my 5-year relationship. That's not good enough. Phil's life isn't ruined yet. He's not dead. So we gotta keep going.
No one's trying to kill you, dude. What the fuck?
Unbelievable. Okay.
This guy's insane.
And that's the situation I'm in right now, where by the end of the year, excuse me, not the end of the year, by the end of January, I'm going to owe a big amount of money for the 2017 taxes, whatever they are. I'm going to owe my tax attorney a big amount of money for whatever work he's going to do in January on my taxes, all right, which is probably going to be thousands of dollars because he's very expensive. And eventually I'm going to owe another big payment that hopefully they'll put me on a payment plan for, okay? And it doesn't even end there, folks. I hate to tell you, there's even more bad news, all right? Basically,
even more bad news.
The good news is you guys have been helping me out recently, right? You've been cheering, subbing, tipping.
And that's not good enough.
$1,000 tip. I just got a $100 tip. All these tips adding up, people are helping me out tremendously. All right, and thank you. Because like I said, honestly, I have no way out of the situation. It's not like I can suddenly sell stuff to pay this. I have nothing to sell, and I'm already working myself ragged. Listen to my voice. I'm already working myself ragged.
My voice, dude.
So you guys and gals, your contributions are literally saving my ass. However, I know there's always another however. There's always another twist, right? What I'm nervous about now is that the taxes that I've been paying all this year for federal taxes were based off of last year's estimated income, what I made last year. I can already tell you guys, you guys have been so generous this year that I know I made more money in 2017 than I did in 2016. Guess what that means? I'm going to owe more taxes than what I paid coming up in April because I've only paid based off of as if I were going to make the same amount of money, and I know I made more this year. So now I got another big tax payment that's going to come due in April. Oh, by the way, there's this whole new tax plan that Republicans just passed in the United States, and no one's sure how it's going to work yet.
Man.
I may end up
I tell you, those fucking Republicans.
I may end up owing more. And I don't know until the actual tax information law gets given out to tax attorneys so that they can do all this work. So, again, it seems to me like no matter, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? So I need to raise money in order to save my ass from these state taxes out of nowhere that came up out of nowhere. So people come out, we're supportive of Phil, let's cheer, let's tip. They do it, great. Now I'll get past the state taxes, but now federal tax. Oh, now you owe more because you made more money. Now where does this money magically fucking come from? You know what I mean? There's always something.
From begging, apparently.
There's always something around the bend, you know? And it's to the point where, you know, I love what I do. I absolutely love doing this as a job, but when will I ever be able to just be not in a situation where something else comes up to fuck me? Something else.
Well, you know, you could, if you had a regular job, that wouldn't have happened.
And, you know, I don't know if it's good. My whole life might be like this. I might be like this till I die.
Yeah.
Day,
unless you get a different job, a real job.
I don't know. But anyway, that's the situation right now currently with my taxes and everything. So that's why you guys cheering, subbing, and tipping, you've been helping me so much. You have no idea. I'm so appreciative of what you guys have done.
So appreciative.
Okay? Now, I'm not done. I actually want to talk a little bit about
oh my God,
my future
shut
plans,
up.
all right? And then I'll take a break, and then we'll come back and we'll have a big Christmas segment. Sounds good? So, my future plans, all right? What do I have planned for the future? Well, first of all, some people have asked me, Phil, what are your New Year's resolutions? You know, I have 2 New Year's resolutions. I have 2. Number 1, to get through the state tax situation.
Does anyone even care about the net? Did not happen at all.
I'll be honest with
sir, that did not happen.
Lose my house because the only liquidity that I have, I don't have any more credit. I don't have any more credit cards or anything that I could charge anything to. I already have personal loans I'm paying. I can't take out any more personal loans to help me with this situation.
All right, I'm coming.
It seems like the only liquidity that I have is the equity that I have in my house right now. A lot of people have said, why don't you sell the condo in Connecticut? I tried. Last year I tried. They won't let me because I owe way more on the mortgage than that house. Since I bought that house, it was worth over $100,000. That's what I owe on the mortgage. That condo in Connecticut is now worth $60,000 because the real estate market in Connecticut plummeted. So I can't sell it. I owe more than I can sell it for.
You could sell it actually, but you didn't want to sell it.
The ones that I found are very shady. Oh, well, we're not registered on the internet, but you could call me and I'll take care of it. I'm like, and the only other rental company that's there I don't like. They actually are the company that deals with that building, and already they do a terrible job with the landlord. They do a terrible job with everything. I don't want to rely on them to rent out my unit because they do a terrible job for me now as an owner. Why would I think they're going to do a good job if they rent the place for me? So I can't even rent this condo. I'm stuck with a condo in Connecticut that's worth shit. I can't sell it and I can't rent it. So it's just draining on my finances every fucking month, and I can't get rid of it. The only thing that I have, if I have to pay thousands of dollars in taxes,
before the
is to sell my house. This house, because this house has equity in it. I've looked into getting.
You're never going to get the equity out of that house, though.
Because I have too much debt in my name. They say, your debt ratio is too high. We can't get you to budget for a refinance or a mortgage on your house.
You're never going to get a refinance because the house is falling apart. You don't take care of the goddamn house. Holy shit. All right, I got to grab something to eat. Super quick. I apologize. Well, let me get the Christmas music back up here. Where was it? I'll be right back. I need you to at least grab the food, and I'll bring it over here, and I'll continue. So, 1 second. I do apologize. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about all that. Yeah, I had to grab something to eat. So I'm gonna be eating while I do this, but I'll try not to eat into the mic so you won't hear it. But yeah, so let's continue. Oh god, this is a part 3. How long is this, dude? Jesus.
Even use the equity in my house to do anything unless I sell
Alright,
my
we're
house.
back.
So basically, I'm
1.5.
screwed. Unless I can make enough money doing this to pay all my taxes somehow coming up in 2018.
Which isn't going to
I'm
happen.
Gonna lose my house. I don't know what else to do. But you guys have been so tremendously positive. Maybe I can do it.
This
Maybe,
is the whole save the house
what I'm
thing,
doing right now,
too.
in January, it's looking like I'm probably going to be able to have some really fun events and things that people are going to be supportive of and everything. You know, and what I'm hoping is that between all the stuff going on, that I'll be able to pay these taxes and sell my and not have to sell my house, and be able to stay here and do everything, you know, the way that I want to. Because that's what I said. I have 2 New Year's resolutions for 2018. The first one is to find a way through this tax situation I'm finding myself in and keep my house. That's number 1. All right. Number 2 is to have my girlfriend move in with me, you know, sooner the better in 2018. Because right now, number 1, like I said, it's the best relationship I've ever been in my life. Okay. I feel like she's my soulmate. I do. I truly do. And I am in love with her. Absolutely. She's in love with me. And if she were to move in, number 1, she has a job that she, you know, can probably find a job out here similar or whatever, and she can come to help immediately. Number 2, cooking and everything, helping with the responsibilities of the house so I can get back to how it was. So I'm not constantly overworked and stressed out because I have to rush to cook meals or whatever and everything like that. You know, and number 3, quite honestly, I want to be with her. It's killing me to not be with her. Today, this morning, you know, talking with her, and it's Christmas, and we're like, it's our first Christmas together, but not together. It's awful because we need each other. We need that support, and we're not there for each other physically right now, and it sucks.
Hold on, sorry. But do you hear that? That's what he wanted in a relationship. He didn't care about he didn't care about like having like a loving romantic relationship. He wanted someone there to cook for him. That's all he cared about, right? Like, oh, like that's the biggest fucking thing he needs. He needs a fucking mom. Someone who can cook for him, take care of him, clean up after him. That's what he needs. Cause he's basically like fucking helpless on his own through like bad parenting or autism or both, or I don't know. And honestly, Phil probably needed to be like in some kind of group home kind of thing for people who like can't live by themselves. And that's probably where he probably should have ended up, was some kind of group home so they can take care of him because he can't live on his own. But never happened, obviously.
So, you know, the sooner she can move in with me, the better. I don't know. I mean, literally, I can't even think about it until I get past late January with the tax situation. Once that situation is taken care of, then at least I can entertain it. All right. But right now, I'm between a rock and a hard place. Where unless I can get past the taxes in January, I can't even begin to plan out the rest of my life, which is what sucks. I feel like I'm in suspension. I'm in suspended animation because of the actions of a tax attorney who fucked me over and I have no restitution against, and trolls who fucked me over and I have no restitution against. Isn't that nice? It's terrible, right?
It's none of it's his fault, though. The good news is, it's all someone else's fault.
If I can make things happen and come together, and maybe my girlfriend can move in with me and I can keep this house, all right? Positive change. Number 1, since now I'm going to get back into the swing.
So, like, right? If I remember correctly, and my memory is not the best, this whole Christmas begging type thing was the whole save the house begging segment. And he ended up using this money to, instead of actually paying off some of the taxes, he used the money to move her in, if I remember correctly. So this is when he used the money that was supposed to go to help the taxes, which was still a real thing. It's not like he was making up the tax issue. It was a real thing. But instead of doing that, he used the money to fucking move the bitch in instead.
I've already decided I want to start doing stuff that people have been asking me for a while.
But he was like, oh, I might lose my house and everything.
Well, guess what? If I start making new meals and recipes with my girlfriend, I would definitely revive the series. Because right now, I don't revive cooking with the king. I don't cook for myself. When I do,
that didn't happen.
Quick, I'm frying up a chicken sausage or something quick in a frying pan, you know, or, you know, it's a rarity if I even make myself any kind of a meal that takes more than a few minutes because I'm in such a rush constantly to get back to work. But if I'm, you know, if I'm doing stuff with her and we're adopting new meals and stuff, that could be a series. I show you guys the kind of stuff that we're making. It's Cooking with the King returns, right? And stuff like that.
I think she was.
Positivity could come back.
She ended up moving in pretty shortly after this anyway.
Number 2, if she can move in. So let's see. My plan for 2018, since 2018 is my 10th year making internet content for you guys, what I'd like to do is a lot of things. I'd like to maybe go back and play some of the best games I've ever played over the years. Some people have suggested Heavy Rain, Mass Effect 2, doing a negative or a evil FemShep run through it and stuff like that. Those could be amazing events that I hold as an anniversary special, right? Me going back and watching my old playthroughs and doing reactionary commentary to the stuff I used to do in the past that was a lot more risque, right? Pretty good, right? It could be
all
very
garbage content anyway.
Beneficial to everything. There could be a reinvigoration. There's things coming up in 2018, for example, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, that could be very, very positive for me. Because those are games that I grew up with, that I have a lot of knowledge of, that I could do well.
Well, that fucking Street Fighter collection, you played that fucking game for like years.
A lot of positivity possible, but I have to get, you know what I mean? I have to survive. I have to survive.
I'm bitching about it, but he still played it.
Worrying about now taxes
because he was afraid of Fightcade.
You know, so thank you guys for listening. That was my 2017. Holy shit, what a year. We had high highs with streaming getting better and better, a new relationship that I'm in, but low lows with the amount of trolling, the ad revenue plummeting, you know, 5-year relationship ending, excessive amount of trolling in different departments, a tax situation. What a year. By far, like I said, the most tumultuous year that I've had in my whole life. It's so much shit going on. If anything, I just hope that 2018 can be more positive, okay? All right, everyone.
It wasn't.
So it's time for some shout-outs, first of all. Let's do some shout-outs. Shout out to. There's a difference. There's a soulmate factor there, right? That here's someone who we love each other, we care about each other, and we want to be there during the trying times, versus it was a different kind of relationship that I had with my ex. Let's just put it that way. All right? So you don't have to worry about that with me. The choices that I make in that kind of regard are well thought out, okay?
Yeah, because you didn't love her at all.
Who tipped me $1 as a long-time watcher and lurker since you played Street Fighter 4 Madness series. Hope you have a good Christmas. Thank you much, Kane. Styles the Deal. Brian, give me 100-bit cheers. Merry Christmas. Thanks, man. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you, sir. Hope you're having a good Christmas, by the way. Haven't had a chance to say hello to you in a few days. Resident Evil Beating did a 10-bit cheer. He says, I think you'll get a tax cut, Phil. I mean, I may. This new tax bill may result in a tax cut for me, or it could flip. I have no idea. I can't worry about it until tax attorneys have the information and start doing work on it, all right? Chewbacca did a 10-bit cheer. Says, oh, how much is your condo rent-wise? I'm looking for... It's not. I can't rent the condo because I can't physically be there to do the work to have the condo rented out. It's out of the question. Kovoris did a 30-bit cheer. Says, Colt Keemstar, drama alert, DSP is officially in low. Do you really think that Keemstar would ever do anything positive in regards to me? He already did a fucking episode about me masturbating on stream and thought it was the most hilarious fucking thing on the planet. I'm sure he would do a positive video to help me out. Like that guy did a fucking...
Wait, what? What was that? Hold on. Sorry.
Do the work to have the condo rented out. It's out of the question. Kovoris did a 30-bit cheer. He says, Colt Keemstar, drama alert, DSP is officially in low. Do you really think that Keemstar would ever do anything positive in regards to me? He already did a fucking episode about me masturbating on stream and thought it was the most hilarious fucking thing on the planet. I'm sure he would...
See, he was still back then, and this was when it was fresh. Like, because I think it was like, what, May of 2017 he had the burst? Or was it the year before this? But anyway, it's still relatively fresh when this happened. And he was so butthurt back then that Keemstar covered the fapping incident. Because everyone covered that incident. But look how upset he was that Keemstar covered that. Like, and then you wonder why he's so pissed off at Keemstar now. It's probably because he held a grudge from all this fucking time ago.
Do a positive video to help me out. Like that guy did a fucking positive thing in his goddamn life. His whole fucking existence on YouTube is based off of negativity and drama and sucking the positivity out of others so he can make a buck. Anyway, Black Mage Seaside did a 10-bit cheer, and he says, hold on. Have you ever
that describes you a lot too there.
Pause the sauce. Well, the thing is, I already did the sauce. I already have a step-by-step video series about the sauce. So no, I would not do Cooking with the King with the sauce. It would be new stuff. Soup Double G did a 13-bit cheer, and this stupid message I'm not going to read. Solid Shock did a 55-bit cheer, and he says, goodbye 2017, let's have 2018, and it could be a great year. DSP 10 years. Yes, very nice. Jeff Kim 888 did a 20-bit cheer. Thank you, Jeff Kim. We had a 10-bit troll cheer from Trusty Hobo that I'm not going to read because I'm not going to waste my time. And the Broken Legs also did a 10-bit cheer, and now he's also giving me relationship advice. Like I'm going to listen, so whatever. All right, folks, it's time for a break. When I come back, it's going to be the Christmas segment. In this segment of the show, I'm going to talk about Christmas, traditions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my special Christmas IRL podcast slash stream slash whatever the heck you want to call it. Feeling festive, decided to switch hats for this final segment, which is going to be all about the holidays, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about how I traditionally and my family celebrated the holidays, different traditions and things that I did. What I want to do is make this a very interactive segment where I talk to you guys about all the stuff that, that I used to do for Christmas, and I'm wondering what you guys do, if it's any similar things, if you do variations of what I do, and stuff like that. So let's get started.
This is basically the segment that he talks about every fucking year, too. Like, every year, he just repeats himself over and over.
Brian, what did you just say? Brian just did a 100-bit cheer, and he says, I cheered more last night at the strip club was really slow. Wow. We all know that Brian actually works at a strip club. He is a very ripped dude. He works out and, roided. Okay, he isn't really roid, but you know what I mean? Like, he's got that really crazy Adonis-looking body. So he's a Chippendale, and he makes tons of money, but it was slow because it was Christmas Eve. All the girls were out, I guess. I don't know. All right, thank you, sir, for the cheer. I appreciate that. You're not aware.
Wait, what was that, Phil?
We all know that Brian actually works at a strip club. He is a very ripped dude. He works out and, roided. Okay, he isn't really roid, but you know what I mean? Like, he's got that really crazy Adonis-looking body. So he's a Chippendale, and he makes tons of money, but it was slow because it was Christmas Eve. All the girls were out, I guess. I don't know.
We all know
all
this.
Right, thank you, sir, for the cheer. I appreciate that. You're not aware Brian is the person who has done a lot of co-op with me this year. He did Destiny 2 co-op. We did a lot of fighting game stuff together, so pretty cool to see him.
Not anymore.
All right. So for me, Christmas always began in early December. It was like a month-long celebration. I remember in early December, we would put up the main Christmas tree in the house, meaning the Christmas tree that would go in my living room. And always that tree was a nice giant green tree. We only had a real tree, I believe, twice. And the reason why we didn't get it was because it was just always such a pain in the ass to clean up afterward. Even though it smelled amazing. Real trees smell really good, right? I love the scent of a real tree. In fact, last night I burned a candle that smells like trees. I love that scent. But it could be a real hassle to clean up, especially when the needles are coming off, there's sap coming out of the damn thing, and, trying to get out the door in particular. If you don't have giant doors, right? For me, even though it's not as nice, I think a fake tree is just as good. And my parents pretty much always had one of the fake trees. It's kind of like the pipe cleaner. It feels like pipe cleaners, like green pipe cleaner style tree. When we first had a Christmas tree, it was just the tree, and we would have to actually get lights to put on. I remember when I was younger, we always used to color
cleaner tree.
Lights, and we have to put them all around the tree and everything. And we'd also do garland, like red and green garland, sometimes golden garland. We'd have a wide variety of ornaments. Sometimes there'd be little like balls, colored balls, but sometimes we'd have characters. Like as I got older, we would buy those themed ornaments of different characters and stuff from cartoons that I liked, and we would have those on the tree as well. And I also remember when I was very young, we had a star topper that was really colorful, and we had a toy train that would drive around the base of the tree. But my parents, or well, I should say my mom, was more religious, and she always wanted to have a nativity set under the tree. And so we had this nativity set made of real wood. It was a big stable made of wood with these little plastic figurines of the baby Jesus in the manger and Joseph and Mary.
Oh, only plastic? You got to get rid of the real ceramic tile. That's what my mom has. She always would do that. Hold on, got to take a sip. Yeah, because my mom does that every year. She has a nativity set, but it's like all like little ceramic figurines. But she wouldn't put it under the tree. That's kind of weird that they put it under the tree. She puts it like on the some kind of like, I think it's like some kind of like wine cabinet / thing. It's like basically the top of it's like a table, right? So, and you would cover up baby Jesus. And then on Christmas Day, when he was born, you would uncover baby Jesus and blah, blah, blah. But it would never put it under the Christmas tree. That's always kind of weird to me that, like, you would put it under the Christmas tree, though.
And then the three wise men and the shepherds and the animal, like the donkey and the animals, camels and stuff that would be around and everything, okay? So that was kind of our main tree setup. Now, when I started getting a little bit older, my parents said, well, let's actually let the kids have their own trees. So in my room and in my cousin's room, because we didn't have the same room, we were 2 upstairs bedrooms, were our trees. Now, my tree was a little one. So I'm 6 feet tall. The tree was maybe 3-4 feet tall tops. I think it was between 3 to 4 foot tall mini tree. And again, I liked multicolored lights, so typically I would have different colored lights and stuff like that. Sometimes as I got older, my parents didn't really want the themed kind of cartoony ornaments on their tree anymore, the main tree, so I would put those on my tree. And any presents that I bought for my family, I would wrap myself and put under my tree, which was nice. And you might say, well, if you're a kid, what presents did you buy? Well, my school used to have a Christmas fair where they have all kinds of cool collectibles and stuff you could buy, and I would buy some of the more unique ones, wrap them myself, and they would have like cool presents to give to my family and stuff on Christmas morning, which was nice. My cousin, who was 5 years older than me, who also lived with us, she had her own tree. Now her tree was white, one of those, the whole tree, not white frosted, but the whole tree was like white branches, and her lights were blue, which was really nice. And she would put her own themed kind of ornaments. She grew up as a girl, like strawberry shortcake and stuff like that. She liked on her tree. So we all had our own trees. Now, as time progressed, like I said, my parents didn't want to have the kitty stuff on the tree. Basically,
the best kind of tree is the rainbow tree.
So what my mom did, she stopped doing colored lights. She stopped doing all that. She started doing only white lights and peach and gold and silver ornaments with like golden or peachy garland on the tree. She stopped doing the star on top and instead got this peach colored angel topper that she would put. It was an angel holding candles and stuff like that for the top of the tree, okay? So that was one way we would decorate the house. We also always had one of those big Christmas card holders that we would hang. We have in our hallway, I say our, there, I mean, it was ours back then. There's a front hallway, there's a big kind of staircase going up, and on the side of the staircase is like a wall, a banister where you could hang stuff, and we would hang this giant Christmas card holder. And over the course of the month, as we ended up getting Christmas cards from family and extended family, we would put the cards inside. It would be nice to fill it up, have like 15, 20 different Christmas cards, fill it up. It's a nice way to display that. It was pretty nice. My mom, as I got older, started going crazy with Christmas decorations. I mean, seriously, she would buy these giant, I'm not even exaggerating, like 3 foot tall porcelain angel dolls that would be standing in the house. Some would move animatronically and stuff, which was
that's kind of creepy. I don't know, man. That's a little creepy.
And then also, my mom got these little porcelain,
like little haunted angels, like it's nighttime, you're sneaking in downstairs to get a snack or something, and you look and it's like facing one way, and you like turn around to get the snack and leave, and then it's facing the other way. You're like, what the fuck?
Houses that were Christmas themes, like snow and like little people inside, lights would light up, and you have those on like different mantles, different places around the house and stuff like that. Surprisingly enough, never really candles, which a lot of people like to burn Christmas candles or whatever. My parents were never into that for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe they were afraid of the fire that one of the kids, me or my cousin would knock it over or something. I don't know, but they were never into that kind of stuff. Surprisingly enough. Now, that was just the base decorations, all right? There was other stuff that we did over the course of the month that was also holiday tradition for us. By the way, shout out to Rockstar, did a 10-bit cherry, said, sing us a Christmas song. My favorite is So Is This Christmas by John Lennon. Dude, can you not hear my voice? My voice is incredibly hoarse. I cannot do any singing right now. I'm sorry. And shout out to Rock the Ice 24 who subscribed to the channel, which means, yes, ladies and gentlemen, 327 subs have been achieved. I now have the most subs ever that I've ever had concurrently is 327. Thank you very much, everybody. So, a few things that we would do around the house.
Come on, Phil, sing a song for us.
Again, growing up a Roman Catholic, that's how I was raised.
So
we would always have an
this
Advent
Christmas.
calendar. I don't remember what this is. It's a calendar they would hang, and we always hang that on the doorway that went down to the basement.
I don't know any more lyrics.
For 25 days, you open up a new door every day in
and lots
December.
of
and behind
good
each door,
cheer.
there's usually a Bible verse, or there's a nice picture of something from the Bible or something like that. Now, as I got older, my mom stopped doing that and got this tree. It was a porcelain white tree, and it was the time.
Sounds like his mom had ADD and she can't like settle for one thing, so she keeps changing things up.
Calendar, where every day there'd be a new metal. It wasn't really gold, but it was like fake cheap metal, gold plated. And every day we'd take a new metal for each day and hang it on each branch of the tree so that the tree would fill up over the course of the month. And on one side it had a Bible verse, and on the other side it was like a scene from the Bible. So today it was the sheep, and you put the sheep on. To the next day it's one of the wise men, and the wise men goes on there, right? So the tree would fill up gradually over the course of the month. That was one thing that we did. My mom and dad also had a big kind of stereo record.
Oh, so can I just say something like, what kind of mom or parent, right, like, wouldn't want their children's nostalgic type of like Christmas ornament on the tree anymore? You know, it's like, oh, my son, he made my dear little Philip. Hold on a second. Let me take a sip.
Oh, my dear little sweetie Philip, when he was in 2nd grade, he made this sweet little gingerbread man. It is so cute, but I'm not gonna have it hanging up on my tree because it actually looks pretty shitty. So he can hang it on his little tree in his room, but no, I'm having all these super fancy gold color bulbs and stuff on the tree, okay, dear? You can take that shitty ass nostalgic stuff and put that on yours, because like we don't really care about you, son. Like, come on.
These Christmas albums that they would play either on tape or on record during all the month of Christmas. You hear Christmas music going on throughout the house, which is really nice. I loved it.
Yeah, I gotta get that Elvin and the Chipmunks Christmas song record playing.
That's how I learned all the Christmas carols. It's because my parents constantly had them playing in the house, which was
learn the Christmas carols. Okay.
So I got to learn all the famous Christmas songs growing up just from naturally having them be ambient music in the house during Christmas time.
I mean, my mom played it on the radio because, like, one of the radio channels here just plays Christmas songs like 24 fucking 7. So she would always just put stuff like that. Same fucking thing.
In addition to all of that, my parents would always have Christmas treats in the house. What kind of Christmas treats would we have? Well, popcorn balls were huge because they're cheap. They don't go bad quickly. You can have them for a few weeks. They're messy, but they're better for you than, say, eating candy. So popcorn balls were always wrapped in the house. Candy, oh my God. We always had a tree, a hollow glass Christmas tree that would be full of like Hershey's Kisses, mini Reese's peanut butter cups, that kind of stuff. And we would fill it up at the beginning of the month, and all month we would just open there and snack on it. We have dinner, then we go into the living room to digest from dinner and open it up and snack on candy while we digested from dinner, right? It was pretty cool. Rockstar just did a 10-bit series. Says, I've got a white retro porcelain mini tree from 1950. It's awesome with single bulbs that stick out around the sides. Yeah, we also used to have a mini tree with these little like light up bulbs as well. That was a porcelain tree as well. I think it's kind of
I have one of those. I mean, like, those are like super common. Those like little porcelain trees that light up or whatever, and like, yeah, they're like, I have one myself. That's the only tree I put up this year. It's just that little mini one, because I don't really have the space for a tree this year, unfortunately, with the way I rearrange things and stuff. But yeah, those are really nice usually.
What you're describing is like a throwback tree, supposed to be like something retro from like the mid 1900s, and we had one of those in the house as well.
Mid 1900s? No, they were all over the place in the 50s, 70s, and all that.
A lot of people, when you say holidays, it's about the food, right? One tradition my mom would always do, she would make something called the strips. Now, the strips actually have a name. My mom, for whatever reason, retained all these recipes from her family and her heritage, and she never remembered any of the names of any of them.
Heritage.
Like, I told you guys about egg with the hole in the middle, right? She would take a piece of bread, rip out the middle, cook an egg inside of it, top it with cheese, and you cut it up and eat it for breakfast. Well, it's actually called, I believe it's either called eggs in a nest or like eggs in a basket, but she would call it egg with the hole in the middle. Obviously, that's not the real name for it, right? So she would make this thing.
Yeah, she was kind of dumb, but whatever.
She would call the strips, all right? What they were, I want you to think of a jelly roll. Think of a jelly roll.
Sweetie, get down here and eat your strips.
You mean crepes? Is that what you're talking about?
Cake that's kind of like spiral, and in between you could have layers of, say, cream and jelly and that kind of stuff. She would make these, only it wasn't that kind of a pastry, all right? It was bread. It was like, excuse me, not I didn't even say pastry. It wasn't cake. It was like a breaded pastry. So she would take these rolls of dough, and then she would roll them up with ingredients inside. And she would make a poppy seed, walnut and cinnamon, prune, and I believe she had another one with raisins in it. So she would make 4 different kinds of these things. Now, when
strudel? Is that? Are you talking about strudel, Phil?
It wouldn't even look like a pastry. You would think you were
I
making
love
a
strudel. My family always makes like a big, nice strudel, and it's like, oh, it's so good. Actually, let me see if I can find a picture of it, because I think that's what he's talking about, unless he's talking about something else. Like these? Is that what he's talking about? The strudel my parents make, I look a little different, though. I think this is what he's talking about, though. Which would just be normal strudel, basically. Yeah, this is what my parents usually make. It's like this fucking strudel. It's so good. And it's like strudel and you wrap it around. I think that's what he's talking about. And then you got different kinds of nuts in here and you got some cinnamon. I think that's what he's talking about. But it's not called strips. It's literally just called strudel. But it's very good.
Zone or something. You think, oh man, you're gonna cut that open, there's gonna be sauce and cheese inside, right? But no, you cut it open and it would be this oval shaped slice that kind of looked like a thin jelly roll, and you would eat it and it would be good. It would doughy, breaded pastry with different fillings on the inside. Now mine was always a prune and raisin were my favorite because those were the ones that were kind of sweet. My dad really liked the poppy seed, and I believe some of our family members really liked the walnut that she would make. So there actually is a name for this thing she made. But for the life of me, I never knew what it was. I never knew what the hell the name of it was because she never told us what the name of the thing was. She never figured it out herself. She called them the strips. I think it's actually a Polish thing because she was half Polish. Well, my mom isn't. She is. She's half Polish and half Italian. So I think it was one of her Polish recipes. But I don't know what the hell. Maybe someone in the stream chat is Polish and would know what the hell I'm describing. I'm not sure. No, not babka. Sweaty back wheels. Is it babka? No, it's not babka. It's not turnovers. It's got this specific name to it. Well, you're thinking of babka, you're thinking of the little things that are like cookies, that are rolls. No. This was a giant strip that you would chop into slices.
Strudel.
That you would eat. So it's not babka.
He's a little stupid.
All right, anyway, so that was another thing. By the way, shout out to Rock the Ice with an 11-bit cheer. And he said, bring the seasonings. Bring the season of seasonings. Yes. So, what else?
Another thing for us, like my parents would always do is, in our stocking, we would always get a Terry's chocolate orange. So, like, that's always been very synonymous for us with Christmas. Like, it's like literally the size of an orange, and it's round, and it's chocolate, and you smash it on a hard surface to break it apart, and it opens up like an orange. And each slice, and they have slices, and it's all chocolate, but it literally tastes like an orange, like orangey chocolate. It's so good. And my parents would always give us one of those in our stockings, and it's like, it's not Christmas without a chocolate Terry's orange, okay?
Christmas cookies. She would actually make different kinds, and mostly they were sugar cookies. What she would do is make these rolled up sugar cookies into balls. She would make flattened sugar cookies, different kinds of cookies, and she would buy different toppings. Sometimes she would just put like a
sugar cookies are so good.
Sometimes we would put these little candy balls. There were these little candy balls made of sugar, but they were metallic, like they look metallic even though it was edible. You would push those in to make like designs into the cookies, and I used to do that. I would decorate them as a kid. She would bake them, but then I would push the stuff into it to decorate. Gumdrops you would push in there. As well as other kinds of candy and stuff you would stick into the sugar cookies. And so we'd have a plate of sugar cookies that we would eat over,
And we would always make like these
traditionally
candy cane cookies. Like you would have two different colors, food colorings, and you would wrap it up in like in the shape of a candy cane, and it tasted like almond candy thing or almond cookie of some sort.
So for us, it was a ham. Whether it was a giant baked ham that my mom would slice up and give to us in pieces, in chunks. Later on, she would get just like one of those giant ham slices and cook it in like a pan and chop it up and give it to us. But usually it was baked
Then
ham.
she would order it from
with pineapples. She'd put pineapple
QVC.
on the ham and glaze the ham in like a cinnamon glaze. So you'd have pineapples and cinnamon with ham. Sometimes she'd make some kind of potatoes. Sometimes it was like a baked potato. Sometimes she made like these potatoes that were like scalloped potatoes and stuff like that, and cheese.
Scalloped
and
potatoes
like
are good.
Manicotti. I don't know how this became a Christmas tradition for us, but it is manicotti. If you're not aware, it's a tube-shaped.
I know
pasta,
what manicotti is. Jesus.
Where you fill it with ricotta cheese, okay, and then on top you put more sauce, you bake on top, and then you drizzle more cheese on top and seasonings.
Manicotti's really good.
I don't never know what it was, but and it's good because there's a tube. You cut it and eat it in chunks. And man, let me tell you, fresh manicotti on Christmas Day baked. Oh, that shit's delicious, man. And other dinner rolls, there'd be some kind of a roll or something as well. And the thing is, we would eat that, and then immediately, like I said, we would have Christmas cookies or whatever, those strips or whatever for dessert. So it was like a course by course.
See, for us, like for our family, my dad's side of the family's all Italian. So like 100% Italian, my dad's side of the family, right? And then my mom's side is all German. But on the Italian side of the family, we would always go on Christmas Eve. We would go down to their house, and we would have this big Christmas Eve dinner. And it was spaghetti, and she made such fucking good spaghetti. And like, I don't know how she made it so good, but it was like she literally would just take like over the counter ragu sauce and spice it up with like different like spices and seasonings and stuff. And it would like go from like shitty ass over the counter ragu to like really good tasting sauce. And she would make spaghetti, and we would have stuffed artichokes. So it would be like really like artichokes stuffed with like breading and stuff. And it was very good. And smelt, which are like these small baby kind of fish. And that would be like our Italian Christmas Eve dinner is really, really good. And that's like from actual Italians, not like a quarter Italian parents or something where he's only like a quarter Italian. But no, it's like very fucking.
And of course, there was always leftovers that would last for several days after, which was pretty awesome. So as for
and I guess apparently a lot of people like also have like lasagna for Christmas dinner. Like I guess that's a big thing now too. So like, because like I work in a grocery store, and a lot of fucking people have been buying like stuff to make a lasagna. Lasagna has been selling like lasagna noodles or ricotta, like all that stuff's selling really good. So like I guess like that's like a big new Christmas tradition that people have been adopting lately.
But as for Christmas traditions, like what do we do for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day?
We always did normal
typically
spaghetti.
On Christmas Eve, when I was younger, myself and all of my family, including my parents, my cousin who lived with us, my godparents, and their 3 daughters, who were about my age, some were older, some were younger, as well as kind of the grandparents, and everyone else would go over to my great aunts and great uncle's house. And I never had grandparents because even though I have them, I never met them. They all moved away when I was a kid. Remember, I mentioned this over the years that sometimes my family would get into these fights and they wouldn't talk to each other. So I never met my grandparents ever. My grandparents on my mother's side had passed away. On my father's side, they just moved away to like Arkansas or something. And I never saw them again, ever again. Okay. So really, it was my great.
So I guess it's just like a Burnell family tradition to like, oh, I'm sick of you guys as my family. I'm gonna move all across the fucking country to get the fuck away from you guys. So I guess that's just like a Burnell family tradition. It's just like, yeah, I'm never gonna see you guys again. Bye.
That served as my grandparents when I was growing up. So we would all go over to their house.
Like all my family lives like localized in one fucking area in like Western New York. So we're just all packed in this one area. It's crazy.
I remember correctly, they were they're Polish, but also something else. Some other kind of European heritage, okay? So whenever we went over there, oh my God, here we go with the food again, right? Fried dough. Taking dough and rolling it into this thing and putting it into a deep fryer.
People know what fried dough is, dumbass. You don't have to explain it.
Kids would love to dip it in sugar. I'm sure it was absolutely terrible for you, but it was something they always got. Waffle cookies. Those little waffle cookies that look like snowflakes.
Oh yeah, Prezales, I think they are. Oh, those are so good. Let me look those up really quick. So this is a strudel. Sorry. I'm just a little hungry for snacks. Prezale cookie. I don't know how to pronounce it. No. I might be spelling it wrong. Fuck. Let's look Italian cookie. Oh, Italian wedding cake cookies also really fucking good. My parents would make that a lot too. These things, pretzels. I was spelling it wrong, but no, my parents would always make these. Where are they? These ones. Italian. Oh, my parents would make these too. Oh my gosh, these are all really. These are like ones that my family always makes. So what he's talking about is pizzelles. These are these like little anise flavored Christmas cookies, and they're basically just like a little soft wafer thin, and they're made out of anise. They're actually really good though. And then my family would sometimes make these too, and they would have like a little bit of jam inside. Oh, that's very good. And these are like the Italian wedding cake cookies. Very fucking good. Yep, we would sometimes have these almond cookies and these. Yep, these are all the different cookies I grew up with. These are fucking good. Just making me wish I had these cookies here, but I gotta wait till tomorrow when I go over to my family. Yeah, these ones too, the Italian rainbow cookie cakes. But yeah, he's talking about these things. And you can go to the store and buy them now. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Tops, wherever. And vanilla. Oh, this one's vanilla flavored? Oh, that's fake. You need the anise ones, man. But yeah. And this was the strudel we was talking about earlier. And these are very good. My German grandma makes these ones. These aren't Italian, these are more German. Polish and German, but yeah. I'm getting distracted by the candy, the food. Can you tell I'm a little hungry, even though I just ate?
If you're Roman Catholic, communion at home.
I want cookies, damn it.
That already been blessed by a priest, and we would actually have communion together that night, the night of Christmas Eve. And there'd be music playing, and it would be me, like I said, me, my cousin, and the 3 other girls who were my second cousins. So there'd always be like 5 kids there, plus a bunch of relatives just kind of hanging out and talking and having fun. Older adults. There was my great aunt, my great uncle, their 2 sons. So it was Uncle Michael and Uncle Raymond. Uncle Raymond was my godfather, so it was him and his wife Diane, and then the 3 kids who were my second cousins. Then their parents. So there was like having another set of grandparents, even though really I was never close with them. And then sometimes other relatives would come and visit as well. Sometimes other relatives would just come in to stop by and visit for a while, but they wouldn't stay for the whole time. And we would have a big dinner together. And typically I would sit at the kids' table because I was a kid. And then the big highlight of the night for us.
Phil, I still sit at the fucking kids' table because there's just so many fucking people. There's so many people in my family that there's basically no real kids' table anymore. It's literally just like multiple tables like pushed together or whatever. But like, there's just so many fucking people. There's like, if it was just like the one normal table as an adult table, like I would always be on the other end where it's like pushed together to meet the other table, because there's just so many fucking people that always like get together for like the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas and stuff. So even though like we don't really have any kids anymore, obviously, because like my cousins have like little kids that they obviously have. So they would always sit like there and eat that, but like we don't really have a designated kids table anymore.
All night would be that my great uncle would dress up like Santa Claus, and he would come out and he would sit down and give the kids.
And you wouldn't recognize your great uncle.
Stockings, and each stocking had one of our names on it. Philip for me, and then my cousin, and then my 3 second cousins. And
it was Philip. It wasn't Phil.
Little kids, we believed he was really Santa, so we'd sit on his lap. And he would give us the stocking, and we would open up all these presents. It would be from everyone. It would be presents from my godparents, presents from my parents, all together.
That's kind of sweet.
Together stuff. Typically, it wasn't anything amazing. It was little toys, candy.
Well, yeah. Oh, he's already picky about what he got.
A preview of what the big presents would be the next day from my actual parents. Okay. Now, of course, I thought they were from Santa. So that being said, we'd have this fun night out the night before Christmas at my great aunt's house, great uncle's house, and then the next day we go to sleep, come home with all these toys and everything to play with, whatever, get tired, go to sleep, and then the next morning we're up, time to open presents. And of course my parents were always good about waking up early, putting the presents down in the living room and all of that.
I should hope so.
Presents or whatever. So people have asked me actually over the past few weeks, what are the best Christmas mornings I have? What are some of the best Christmas presents I ever got? I can answer this for you. Okay. Well, I remember once when I was very young, I was probably like 4 or 5
not the
years
Wolverine
old,
toy.
Now, for those who don't know what that is. I was a huge fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the cartoon that was.
Yeah, I remember those
and it was
toys.
a huge action figure tie-in where you get a million different action figures. And I owned a bunch of the action figures, but I didn't own any of like the
Skeletor!
Eternia. Oh my god, dude, Eternia is huge. It was this giant thing. All right, no lie. All right.
Yeah, it was a giant playset.
A giant thing.
Castle playset type thing.
A giant mountain-like structure with a microphone where you could talk and it would have your voice come out of it. Missiles would launch out of it. And not only do you have this giant tower-like thing in the center where all your action figures can interact and everything, then you've got things on the sides. You've got on one side the thing for the heroes, so it was supposed to be kind of like the good castle for the heroes, and on the other side you had the evil side. And it was so cool because basically it was 3-in-1. It was like a neutral area where the two sides would fight, but then you could fight to the good side, you could fight to the bad side. It was really cool.
Yeah, I think I remember this thing, and it would open up
really cool.
like in like a
And,
3-part piece.
I'm absolutely sure that it was incredibly expensive. I'm sure that it was several $100s because the thing was ginormous. Even for the mid-1980s, I'm sure the thing was like really expensive.
I don't think it was $700 worth, though. No.
Then I remember one year, I got a bunch of Ninja Turtle stuff. I remember I got the Turtle van, a ton of Ninja Turtle action figures.
Those
That's kind
are
of how Christmas
cool.
was for me when I was younger. It wasn't about the video.
Turtle van going around and the
Then
turtle
finally,
guys.
in the late 90s to early, or excuse me, the late 80s to early 90s, I kind of grew out of the action figure phase and I became more about collecting comic books and stuff like that. So I remember one year my parents bought me a bunch of these expensive comic books that I wanted, even though it's funny because they're worth nothing. It was like a special edition of a comic book with a holofoil cover that went for $50, when in reality the thing's worth like $1, right? But it's a special limited edition holofoil cover, $50, because back then that was the big boom of comic books. So everything was overinflated and artificially expensive for a while.
I bet if you still held on to those, they probably would be worth something now.
Super Nintendo, and my God, it was so awesome. It was because I remember playing Super Mario World that whole day. Even though my parents had bought me other games with it, Super Mario World, I was blown away just by this game that it came with, okay? And playing Super Mario World on Christmas morning, all day long, having so much fun with it. And then, my parents, fill up dinner. What? And I looked at the clock. I'd been playing since like 10 in the morning, and it was like, 4 in the afternoon. I played Super Mario World for like 6 hours straight. I didn't even know. The time had gone by like that. That's how video games were back in the day. You get so immersed in them when they launched.
Well, you can't get immersed in games nowadays and lose track of time. Apparently, that's just back that.
Keep in mind that
people still actually like video games, and it still happens to
games
them.
were way simpler, but no one was good at games. It wasn't like I'm an amazing gamer and I can run through Super Mario World in 6 hours and do every level.
Oh my God. Because they were kids.
You couldn't go on the internet to find out what the secret levels were. It was all flubbing through the games by yourself, There wasn't even strategy guides
No,
on
you're
sale
just
to
a
launch those games back then. It was all just you
dumbass kid who couldn't play the game, that's all.
In particular, I remember just enjoying how many secrets and how much fun stuff was in Super Mario World at launch. That was an amazing.
It's a fun game. I loved it.
Subsequently, there were other Christmas, like I remember one Christmas I got Street Fighter 2 for the SNES. I played the shit out of that all day. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things that followed up. And then I remember there was one Christmas where I got a bunch of PlayStation games. And I remember Metal Gear Solid was one of them. And no lie, I played Metal Gear Solid for about 45 minutes. I took it out of my PS1 and I never played the game again. I owned Metal Gear Solid when it was a popular new game for PS1, and I played it for like 45 minutes. I was like, I don't like this shit. And I never booted the game ever again. I traded it in actually later on. I traded it in for money somewhere else.
Sounds about right.
I just didn't like it. They weren't for me. Sneaking games were not for me. I like many other styles of games. Sneaking games was not one of them. So Christmas Day would be mostly about opening presents and having a good meal. Now, sometimes what we would do instead of
ain't that for everyone? That's kind of what Christmas is for everyone, right?
Your gifts. We played for a couple hours. We're going out to see the relatives. So sometimes we would go see my mom's Aunt Aggie. I guess that's what she called her. I don't even know what her full name is. Agnes, maybe, but she always called her Aunt Aggie. And that was one house that we would go to in Connecticut. And then sometimes we would go visit my godparents, who we would just seen the night before at my great aunt and great uncle's house. Now we would go to their house for Christmas Day. And so there'd be another slew of gifts because it would be giving more gift exchange between us and them that day. So it was like gifts on Christmas Eve, gifts on Christmas Day, gifts at Christmas night. It was amazing. It was really cool. And then I remember there were some relatives that I never really saw, like my Uncle Richie.
And this kid was fucking spoiled, wasn't he?
So what happens is they would mail Christmas cards, and I would end up getting like Christmas cards Christmas week with even more like money and stuff that I could spend on stuff.
Yeah, he was spoiled as fuck.
That was kind of my Christmas experience. Now, over the years, sadly, things kind of fell apart. For a few things. First of all, I forgot to mention this. When I was younger, my parents always made us go to Mass. So it would either be Christmas Eve at some point during the day, we would go to Mass, all right? Or sometimes it would be like Christmas Day Mass. At some point in there, we would squeeze in church, okay? At some point. So I just wanted to mention that because we were Roman Catholic, we didn't go to church on Christmas. No, we always did. I just forgot to mention it. We squeezed it in at some point. We would go to church at some point.
Yeah.
A lot of times what we would do, we would go to the Christmas Eve Mass and then go right to my great aunt's house right afterward after the Mass ended.
Why does it call it Roman Catholic? Just say fucking Catholic. No one says Roman Catholic now. Are you like the bad guys who crucified Jesus back then? No, you're just a normal ass Catholic. Just call it that. No one says Roman Catholic. My family's Catholic, but they're not Roman Catholic. There's no difference between it. It's just Catholic.
Now, the reason that my Christmas celebrations fell apart is because my family over the years started to have falling out. I honestly don't even know what caused it. I don't know if it was teenage years and, you know, kids acting up and having problems and my parents and other parents not agreeing with how kids were being raised or if it was just drama between, I have no clue. I honestly was not involved in it. I had my own thing going on. So I really didn't want to get involved.
My own thing going on. I don't know what the fuck you guys' problem is.
I didn't, you know, I was growing up. I had my own thing going. I had my own friends, my own hobbies. I don't want to be involved in family freaking drama and people being all nasty to each other on Christmas. So what ended up happening eventually was we stopped going over to my great aunt's house, and I hated that. Even though I was older, I wanted to keep going, and I was very disappointed that this falling out had happened and that we stopped going over. And eventually we stopped going over my godparents' house, and I stopped talking to them. Again, for whatever reason, I wasn't involved in it. So what ended up
Seems like the Burnells were filled with drama even back
then. We used to always go over your great aunt and uncle's house, but now we don't do that for Christmas Eve anymore. We already cooked this nice family meal for Christmas Day. We don't want to cook twice in a row. What should we do? Now, my dad was he still is, a ginormous, gigantic fan of the Christmas movie, A Christmas Story. I don't know how many of you have seen the movie. It's pretty popular, okay?
Yeah, we've all seen it.
Movie, on Christmas Day, the family makes a turkey dinner, but it gets ruined. And so the family says, well, what's open on Christmas? Well, the only restaurants that are open on Christmas are Chinese restaurants because the Chinese don't celebrate Christmas like the rest of the world. They have their own holidays, okay? So...
Actually, I think a lot of them do celebrate Christmas nowadays, too, actually.
During that movie, they go to a Chinese restaurant and they get a Chinese duck dinner. So what my family decided to start doing on Christmas Eve was start going to a Chinese restaurant on Christmas Eve because they would be open. And incidentally, this was something a lot of people in America do because we would go there and they'd always be packed.
Is it really
popular? You know, people would be at these Chinese restaurants.
So they don't have any actual traditions of themselves, so they just steal a family tradition from a movie. Sounds about right for a Burnell family.
And so I was first exposed to duck on Christmas Eve. I remember this one.
Never had duck before. I don't even know.
We're at a Chinese restaurant, and I was like, well, what am I going to get? And I'm like, well, I don't want to just get like normal Chinese food. Let's order something different. So it was called.
That's what I would have gotten. I love normal Chinese food. I'm like, I would have just gotten that.
Plum duck. And what it was roasted duck, prepared. It wasn't a whole duck. It was a portion of the duck prepared and sliced into these thin strips. Now, for those who've never had duck before, duck is amazing. It's actually a leaner meat, but it has a fatty layer over it and then crispy, delicious skin, okay? And what you would do is you take the piece of duck, fork it, because it was in the strips, fork it, dip it into this plum sauce, and eat it. Oh my God, it is mouth-wateringly effing delicious. It's one of the most delicious things I've ever had in my entire life. And anytime now, when I go to a Chinese restaurant, if they have some kind of duck, I try to get it, because Chinese duck is so delicious. It's like a delicacy. It really is. It's just amazing how good duck is. It really is.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you have the opportunity to try duck and you've never had it, you got to try it. It's one of the best tasting dishes, especially if it's prepared in a certain way. It could really be amazing, mouth-wateringly good. So,
is it? I have to try it sometime.
On Christmas Eve, we go out to Chinese food, and then we have...
The only real Chinese places close by around here are just like those kind of shitty buffets. I mean, I say shitty. They're not that bad. They're like those like really quick like Chinese buffet kind of things. There's not like a sit-down Chinese fancy place. It's more just like, oh, you got Pan Express or you got like all-you-can-eat buffet type thing. So I'm like, I don't think they have duck there. I'm pretty sure they don't have duck there actually because I've been there and it's like it's just normal Chinese food they have.
We have our own Christmas. Maybe what we would do that night, we would come home Christmas Eve and maybe open one present and then go to sleep, and the next day we'd open up the remaining.
I'd probably have to drive like an hour and a half to like a bigger city in order to find a place like that.
We would leave the Christmas decorations up till about the end of the year, till about New Year's, and then right about after New Year's we'd take everything down because now you figure all the Christmas celebrations over, right? So
yeah, my mom would like never take any of the Christmas decorations down until after the 3 wise men came to visit Jesus, which is like sometime in January. I don't remember exactly when.
Family, that's how we would do it. And then of course over the years, as I got older, you know, I would basically go over there for Christmas and either have a Christmas Eve dinner or whatever. And then I would go ahead and do other stuff, you know, just visit them for Christmas Day, trade presents or whatever. You know, as I said, I didn't live with them anymore. It wasn't like I was doing everything with them constantly like I used to. And then obviously, since I moved out here, very different. It was just me and my ex who would celebrate Christmas, which we would do. We put up the tree early, give gifts on Christmas Day or whatever.
Give that finger, you know, that
Chinese restaurant. We would actually eat Chinese food on Christmas Eve together, and then exchange our gifts, either like one gift on Christmas Eve and then the rest during Christmas Day. And as you guys know, I've been here. I usually stream or work during Christmas Day, so that's what it's been, you know, for me up to now. So, okay. All right, I got a few shout-outs to do, and then what I'd like to do to end the show is actually just open up the stream chat to Q&A. I'd like to hear what your Christmas traditions are and talk a little bit back and forth with you guys who are here live on stream, okay? So a few things. Shout out to Baby Vampire Thug, who did a 10-bit cheer and says, what do you like more, Fortnite or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? They're different games. I can't really answer that. I haven't really played. I don't think I've played Fortnite enough to say, oh, it's better or worse than PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But I've noticed the major difference between the two is really the time frame. Fortnite, the map is way smaller, so in Fortnite, a lot of matches are done within 5 to 10 minutes, versus PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, a good match lasts a good 30 minutes, and it's a very different kind of game. I would say, for stream interaction, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is better because you have a good 10 to 20 minutes before any action really happens in a lot of matches because you're just by yourself kind of looting and running around, and it lets you have a lot of stream chat interaction. All right. Nick did a $1 tip, and he says, I really can't stick around, and I have way too much to talk about for the character limit. I don't know why he said that. Anyone have any questions for me? Anyone have anything they'd like to discuss before
Oh,
we
this
adjourn?
is
Because we're almost done.
Q&A thing, isn't it?
For Christmas, they let us go outside, and we had a turkey for each 10 kids. I got the drumstick for a few years. Every year we do a raffle to see who got a present. I never won. I was there until I was 18. I got my first present from my boyfriend when I was 20 years old. Well, there you go. I'm sure life as an orphanage is not easy, so hey, at least you got out of there, right? You survived. Alice Telemon did a 250-bit cheer. He says, it's not a Christmas question, but nonetheless, most people might know Daigo, Justin Wong, Mike Watson, Alex Valle, and Jeff Schaefer, but have they and you ever heard of the king of Street Fighter 2 who disappeared, Tomo Ohira? He played mostly in the Hyper Fighting and Champion Edition era. Was he truly the best? I don't know anything about him. I've heard the name Tomo tossed around, but that was after that was before I really got into competitive Street Fighter, so I don't know anything about him. Sorry. Ryukage 99 did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Ryukage. And Tyler JKU just subscribed for the 3rd month in a row, earning the silver chat crown badge. And he says, cheers to presents and eating ass. Okay, then. Let's go back to stream chat. Good Lord. Fluttershy asked, did I wish my parents a Merry Christmas today? Absolutely, I did. I told you. Right, the reason the stream started late today is because I called my parents just to wish them a Merry Christmas, and my dad talked my ear off for 30 minutes. Okay, then. Pissing Demon did a 55-bit cheer. He's a little off topic, but have you ever shot a gun? Have I ever held a gun and shot it? Yes. Do I own a gun right now? No. I've looked into it. I very much could own a gun, but right now, because of where I live, it's really not that necessary. So.
Oh, wait. What was that? What was that, Phil? I almost missed that. Oh, where I live, it's not necessary, huh? I thought Seattle was a hellhole.
Do I own a gun right now? No. I've looked into it. I very much could own a gun, but right now, because of where I live, it's really not that necessary. So. Derek asks, what's my favorite Christmas movie? My favorite Christmas movie is Scrooged, the 1988 version of A Christmas Carol starring Bill Murray. It's a more modernized version of Scrooge, or of A Christmas Carol. But other movies, A Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Home Alone.
That was a good one.
That I watch. It's a Wonderful Life I'm going to watch tonight. So those are the kind of movies I absolutely love and I watch every year. Would you like some balls? Said you missed the death of the SOK in the 2017 review that I did. No, I didn't. Dude, here's the truth of the matter. The very truth of the matter. The Sons of Kojima, the SOK, this fringe fucking group that hates me, that fringe fucking group that hates me. I don't care about them. I don't follow them. And I don't, you know what I mean? Yes, they hurt me. I know these are the people who very regularly did nasty shit to me, but I don't follow them or pay attention to any of their shit. I don't care about them. And quite honestly, I'm not even going to mention them because that's how insignificant people they are. I'm sorry, but when your whole entire existence is based around hating someone, you are a fucked up human.
But that's what you were about, Phil.
Great, they don't even deserve a mention.
Mr. King of Hate, that was your whole fucking persona, dummy. You not remember that?
Here, he's eating ass for Christmas dinner. Soup Double G did a 18-bit cheer, besides being a troll earlier. He says, can I do a dab to end the year? All right, how about this? I'll do you one better.
Oh my god, what is this?
I'll do you one better. Okay. All right. I will give you a psychedelic. I put this there on the wrong way. There you go. A psychedelic, holly jolly, let's get lit Christmas dab. There you go. Holly jolly Christmas dab. All right. Very nice. I'll wear this for the remainder of the stream. Rock the Ice did a 10-bit cheers. Any chance of joining a podcast in 2018? I'm certainly not the most desired guest on a podcast. The other problem is a lot of the times these podcasts, when they film, are very...
And then he made his own,
the timing is not good for me. You guys know
I can't.
I a ton now. Like, this is my bread and butter. This is how I make my living. And taking time away from that to do a podcast isn't exactly the most beneficial thing. The few podcasts I've been on never really helped me out anyway. So I'm not actively looking to do it. Then again, if someone were nice and asked me to be on a podcast, I would consider it. Okay. Astro Jet Boy did a 10-bit cheers. How did the SOK die? I don't know and I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. I told you guys. The SOK are not part of my life. They never were. They never will be. They died for me to be on their podcast. Thank God I never was, because if I ever was, not only would I have made them look like complete fools, but they would have easily spun it.
Okay.
Which is the whole point of their existence. I don't care about them. I'm not going to talk about them.
Yeah, I can talk about them, dude.
90-bit cheers, and thanks for the dab. I appreciate it. Atlas Telemon did a 50-bit cheer. He says, how often will you do in real life streams? And will that conflict with Hate Live? I mean, typically you're right. Typically this would be a podcast, right? But I just decided to do something special on Christmas Day because I knew that a lot of people would want to see something in regards to like something like this versus me just doing a Hate Live segments or anything like that. More typically, I'll just do Hate Live the podcast moving forward. Okay, so that's what you should expect moving forward. It probably won't be IRL. It'll be me doing Hate Live podcast. Divine Erasmus says, who's a cool Twitch user to get the sub to? It's Christmas and I want to give. I don't know. Who do you like? Who do you think is friendly in the stream chat? You know, or be Secret Santa and just secretly gift a sub to a random person in the stream chat. Do that. Do a Christmas Secret Santa. Just open up the chat users and go blah, and boop, just pick one and gift it. There you go. Wyanachu asks, looking forward to any games for next year. Here's the thing. I have not done my yearly schedule update yet. I have the calendar, just showed up a couple days ago, and I'm going to be doing that sometime this week. Once I have a chance to do that, then I can answer your question, but I have no idea what's even coming out, so I can't answer your question until I do a schedule update, okay? Timbo Slice, I already played Call of Duty World War II's Windows. I guess you missed it. I already did it. Jazora says, have I considered DSP tries it live? Why would I want to eat a full meal in front of you guys on camera, on stream?
Gee, why would you want to do that? Oh, wait, you end up doing that now anyway.
The way DSP tries it works is I film real quick before I eat.
Feasting with the king, Phil? Does that sound familiar at all?
No, I don't want to get food and shit in my office, so no, I wouldn't consider doing it live.
No, I don't do that at all now.
Okay. And Mozzie at home did a 10-bit troll cheers. I'm going to ignore yet again because all he does is troll cheers. Scoobula did a 10-bit cheers.
Why don't you ban him?
As a kid at Christmas time? I already answered that. I already told you guys what my favorite toys were at Christmas. I would say the day when I got Turnia, the day when I opened up my Super NES. Those were the days that were like the most fond memories because they were the most awesome presents I got. Whoa, Infinite just did a 1200-bit share. And said, Merry Christmas from your friend in the North. He has become the cheerleader for today's stream and unlocked a bunch of emotes for a bunch of people. 25 people in stream chat just got new emotes because of him. So awesome. Very nice. Kai XP is asking, am I still interested in Monster Hunter World in January? I'm on the fence about it, I'll be honest.
He didn't play it.
Interested in me doing it. I streamed the beta on Saturday, and honestly,
he hates Monster Hunter. He didn't play it.
I get the feeling that's just what's going to happen.
Or I think he did play at one point for a little bit.
No one on the stream will like it.
Like 2 seconds.
You know what I mean? It's a game that has a lot of grinding, a lot of killing of monsters. I'm sure there's going to be side quests where you have to kill repetitive shit, just like the DS version that I played. There are people who stream, and their viewing audience like that stuff. I don't think my viewing audience likes that. I don't. I'm still not 100% decided, but the thing that's kind of throwing me off and making me think I'm not going to do it is that Dragon Ball FighterZ comes out the same day, and I'd probably get a hell of a lot more attention playing that game, and honestly, I'd probably enjoy playing that game way more than Monster Hunter, so I'm really on the fence about it right now. All right. David Davidson tipped me $1 and says, be right back. I'm making DSP drama videos in my basement all alone on Christmas Day like all the other detractors. There you go. Alice Telemon did a 50-bit cheers. Is the Player Unknown Battleground?
Yes, we're all in my... I'm in my basement right now. You didn't know that? We all live in our basement. We all drink Mountain Dew and Doritos. It's not like we have our own places or anything. We all live with our parents. We're all dumbass kids.
There you go.
Just mass assumptions, random assumptions about people.
I don't know. I have not played Street Fighter V since the summer of 2016. It's a year and a half later. The game's completely changed. I don't know anything about it. I don't care to know anything about it. So asking me anything about Street Fighter V, you may as well ask a random dude walking down the fucking street, because he'll know more than me. There you go. Derek is asking me, am I ready to return to LA Noire tomorrow? Yeah, I'm interested. I cannot wait, because like I said, LA Noire is one of those games I only played it once. Once through, I never went back and watched my playthrough again. I never even re-experienced it. It's just that once and that was it. So to re-experience the game is going to be pretty awesome this week because it's going to be like playing it fresh. I'm sure there's some things I'll remember, but for the most part, it's going to be like doing it the first time, which will be pretty awesome, I think. So, am I going to play LA Noire in VR mode? No. No.
You play in VR mode, Phil. You still got that PSVR somewhere back.
I'm just double checking because I wanted to see if anyone pledged to my Patreon today. No one did. I was hoping we'd get some pledges because I was going to give shout outs, but no one did. So, 6 days left, folks. 6 days to make the Metal Gear Solid Redemption runs happen. So I hope that you'll pledge. Okay. Yes, Jester KL, I will.
And that went away after Divinity Original Sin 2. He stopped doing the Patreon playthroughs.
30th anniversary collection in May, and then whenever Soul Calibur 6 comes out, another solid and great year for fighters. I'm excited. Okay. Shout out to Astro Jet Boy, who just subscribed to the channel, which means a giant half an hour.
It's all just shout outs.
I play it by ear. I'm chill. We'll see what happens when it happens.
You're not chill.
So, we'll see what happens in March. Okay.
All right, we're done with this one. I have a couple more videos, so hold on one second. Let me get the right ones because they were on a different thing. There we go. So 1 second. I'm saving that one for later, so we'll go to this one. Oh, shit. No. I clicked the wrong thing. Alright, let me turn this down because I think this is a little loud. So I got these two stupid ass DSPs specials from 2012 and 2013 that we're gonna watch that aren't very long, so I don't think I have to worry about that. Alright. Sorry, I'm just... Oh, stop. So these are really cringeworthy. I'm going to warn you all now, this is super cringy. But I'm sure you've all seen this like 100 times already by now.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Darksydephil here, feeling in quite a festive mood, and prepare yourself to have your asses blown away, because this is the Darksydephil Christmas special for 2012. It's an idea that I've wanted to do for quite some time. I just didn't have a chance, but I finally put it together. I hope you enjoy it. Here it comes, the 12 shittiest things that happened to me. The first shittiest thing that happened.
Yeah, and yes, he's terrible at singing. We all know that.
To me, a sequel to Epic Mickey. What the fuck? The second really shitty thing to happen to me. How do I get up? And a sequel to Epic
I wouldn't really showcase the fact that you're too stupid to know how to crouch jump.
Mickey. Piece of shit. The third really shitty thing to happen to me. Trisexual shepherd. This doesn't work. And a sequel to Epic Mickey. Lick my balls. The fourth shittiest thing to happen to me on this DLC. Why is he looking at me like that? This is fucking crap. And a sequel to Epic Mickey. Son of a bitch. The fifth really shitty thing to happen to me. Mainstream reviews suck. This shit's on the disc.
He was always jealous of like actual reviewers.
And a sequel to Epic Shitty. What a rip. The sixth really shitty thing that happened to me. Falling through a boat. 10 out of 10. How many characters? They're just bouncing. Ah! And a sequel to Epic Shitty. Bugs Bunny's better. The seventh really shitty thing to happen to me. Shitty fucking games. How can he fucking breathe? 9 out of 10. $180? Respect my personal space. Kill me now. And a sequel to Epic Shitty. Eat a dick. The eighth really shitty thing that happened to me. Rage quitting games.
Which you did a lot of.
Fucking kidding me.
Ooh, this isn't like original Resident Evil. This isn't survival horror. You ruined the franchise. This game sucks. It's a piece of shit. Forget the fact that there's huge production values. There's a massive amount of content. Fuck you, Capcom. It's
Yeah,
not
he
the
was
same
a
as the
big
original that I love, and I'm a huge fanboy. So
He
fuck
was
you,
a
fuck you,
big
fuck you,
simp
fuck you,
of
fuck
Resident
you.
Evil 6, even though it sucked ass.
What a fucking rip. Doing a French mistake. Am I missing something?
Yep.
And a sequel to Epic Shitty. Disney sucks. The ninth really shitty.
Wait, what was that?
To Epic Shitty.
Look at that. Well, I'll pause. I'll try to pause
Disney
it.
sucks.
Look at that fucking like, hey, yeah, it was funny. Probably Leanna offset right here, like, oh, yeah, it was really funny.
The ninth really shitty thing that happened to me.
I'm back, bitches.
I hate this shit. 4 hours long? Did anyone test this? 10 out of 10. The game's less than 2 hours long. There's no story. Fuck you, stupid artsy douchebags.
Oh, God forbid they have like an artistic expression of some sort
He's
for a
on there
game.
too. Hey, back off, buddy. Must be a game bug. And a sequel to Epic Shitty. Fuck this crap.
Oh, is that his little hatchet that he
The
keeps
tenth
for
really shitty
protection?
thing that happened
Ah.
to me. CT fucking taxes.
City taxes.
Goddamn long. What the fuck is this? Show me your dumb.
Wait, what was that?
Too goddamn long. What the fuck
Xenoblade
is this?
Chronicles is
Show me your
amazing.
dumb
Shut
face.
up, Phil.
This game sucks. It plays like an old game from the 1980s or something.
That's the point. How many missions? Call the police.
Dragon's Dogma was good
Fuck.
too.
And a sequel to Epic Shitty. Why me? The 11th really shitty thing to happen
is so cringy.
to me. We use huge gamepad. Dildo up the
The Wii U is awesome.
You're up to my channel.
Jesus
Holy
is an
shit.
idiot.
Click the shit out of him. Rockstar can suck my ass.
This game's nothing like the previous two. Keep in mind, if I were a professional reviewer, I would be objective and understand that the game could still be good, even though they kind of changed it. Oh well, I'll take my paycheck now.
But everyone universally hated Ninja Gaiden 3.
I already
Like,
bought it.
it was seriously
Bad touch,
panned
bad
by
touch.
everyone.
How can everyone else do it? And a sequel to Epic Shitty. War Spectre sucks.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Hello, DSP.
Oh
It's
my
been
gosh.
2 years since I've been on your channel. Oh, Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh,
Can you imagine if that's what that, like, I mean, I obviously Santa does exist, right? Well, I mean, I hope there's no actual kids here, but like, I hope there's no actual kids here, but like, there better not be. But Santa doesn't fucking exist, right? But if he did, can you imagine him sounding like fucking this? I wonder if he had someone actually edit it together, actually, Darksy, because like obviously this is like beginner level editing, but I'm kind of like impressed that Phil of all people was ever able to actually do it. So I agree with you there.
Santa? I haven't seen you in forever. Where the heck have you been?
Even though the acting's terrible.
Well, DSP, I'm just here to tell you to not expect any presents in your stocking this year. Oh, no, no, no. You've been a very bad boy. This year, you actually broke the record for the amount of expletives spoken by one single person.
Is that a stupid banana hammock in his tree there? Yeah, because there's this fucking bunny, the bunny picture ornament, and that's the stupid banana hammock.
On my naughty list. Oh, how dare you? Oh.
Son of a bitch.
Don't drop it. Taxes up my ass.
Wait, we're canceled?
That wasn't this year. Digital abortion. Max pain in my ass. 10 out of 10. Sorry, I just had to say it again because it's such bullshit. Fuck this company. Guess I'm going gay. Jump
no,
in,
you
crouch.
wouldn't. That's why, like, at least I can understand why some people back in the day like DSP, because, like, he did put some fucking effort into his shit back then. Even though he was still a massive douchebag back then, but he wasn't trying to hide it, and he was putting some sort of fucking effort into it, even though it was still trash. So I can see why some people liked him back then. But
isn't it just like you to
now,
dwell on
I don't
the
see
negative
it.
and miss the true meaning of Christmas? It's boring in here. Let's kick this mother up a notch.
yes, this is funny for some reason. Oh, we get to watch his terrible dancing.
Oh,
This is the way to end it. Just enjoy this fucking dancing going on. Because random dancing is funny. I think if I remember him correctly, he was pretending like he claimed that was just water with ice cubes in it, but with him you never know. The tree
Everyone
falls
has a safe
behind
and
him.
Happy holiday. Merry Christmas, everyone.
He doesn't wear these blouses anymore either. What is he trying to moonwalk? Just horrible. All right, where was the other one? That was pretty cringy, not gonna lie. Nope, don't start. We need to. Nope. Ah! I said don't start. We gotta go back to the beginning. And we got this really bad one. This is this normal, okay. Alright, so we got that one. I'm gonna watch those two and then we'll be done. This was 2013's special, yeah. This was the next year.
Our story begins with an odd setting placement. A troll who lived in his grandparents' basement. Our antagonist was a dastardly creature who worshipped Kojima and loved Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah.
A good word is something he would say to none, and trolling the net.
You know,
was
I
how-
know it's cringy, but I really like the character they made for this fucking idiot. What was? I don't remember what the fuck his name was. Skullface or something. Like, I still kind of like the way they like. Oh, just the costume, I guess, the mask, whatever. But and the way he acts, like it's not that bad, honestly. That wasn't. They should do a spin-off where he's like, no, that's
He
not
had
gonna
fun.
happen.
He
He's too
tried
lazy to
get
do that
famous,
shit.
but it was no use. His playthroughs on YouTube had only 2 views.
And he actually made a YouTube channel of like for this fucking part of this special. Like, I think Anne showed us recently that it was like this is still up, like his fucking videos or whatever.
But an outlet for his anger he did not require, for a gamer called Phil received all his ire.
I just don't get it.
The hater exclaimed.
And I think he
How
had
is it
John
that
playing this
DSP got
character.
so much fame? His jokes aren't funny, his gameplay is bad, and the majority of his playthroughs are sad. He doesn't respect the game devs or voice actors, and Hideo Kojima isn't his master. How dare he make playthroughs that aren't perfect runs? It's almost as if he plays games to have fun.
Not anymore, if ever.
Then the sad loser had an epiphany.
Oh yeah.
I've got it. For Christmas, I'll end DSP. Instead of ignoring someone I don't like, I'll make shitting on him the goal of my life.
So without a lick of good sense in his head, the shithead decided to troll Phil instead. He thumbed down the videos.
Fuck you,
In
bitch.
comments, he swore. He tried to make Phil's YouTube gig a big chore. He impersonated big game companies and contacted YouTube about Phil's series. He made DSP's content ID flag spike and bombarded him with false copyright strikes. Then the big blow in this hateful barrage, a 57-hour-long
57-hour-long.
play montage.
Okay. Love that crappy filter. You love this like frame and the like the posters like not even like centered right. It's crooked and like falling off. And then you got this big fucking opening here. What the fuck?
You're a loser, Mr. Troll. You really are a dick.
Let's see, we got Chaff Grenade.
You spend
That's a
all
big
your
up
time hating. You really make me sick, Mr. Troll. I'd suggest doing something creative, but
This seems just
you've
jealousy
got no
for them.
talent.
This is how you don't play people.
You're an asshole, Mr. Troll. You have no fucking life. You've never even kissed a girl, just give up on a wife, Mr. Troll. Some of the ugliest dudes have hot wives, but you're too busy trolling. Oh yeah, what a loser. You're a douchebag, Mr. Troll. A coward through and through.
And like this dancing, like what is that?
If you said this
What?
shit to my face, can you guess what I'd do, Mr. Troll?
What is that calendar that out?
Oh, if I had a chance of being filthy rich or going back in time to prevent your birth, fill up the DeLorean.
There's a random PNG just going up there, yeah.
You're a shithead, Mr. Troll.
Evil AJ, big ups.
Why can't you just move on?
Renegade.
When you are 45 years old, you'll still live with your mom, Mr. Troll.
Random assumptions on trolls.
Speaking of your mom, tell her I'll be unavailable next week as I'm taking time off. Oh yeah! She still owes me for last night.
None of this rhymes.
Oh yeah! And so, after being
Oh, this
relentlessly
part.
attacked,
Yes,
Phil settled down.
this is how I go to sleep. Just flop fucking down face first in all my clothes. Like, what the
down
fuck,
for a
man?
long winter's nap.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
I gotta show the camera.
Oh, that's more like it. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Thanks, DSP. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Wait, this is his entertainment center. So his tree is right here next to his entertainment center. I think this is a lamp. And this is another lamp, probably just for the scene, but look at all this shit. You got like a shitload of cables here. That's his 360. I think that's his surround sound. Or, yeah. Oh my gosh, all this fucking cables. Like, it's and you can see some of the cables back there. And it's amazing he never had like a fire start with all this fucking cable, piss poor camera management, cable management. And then he just has a random ass fucking Christmas ornament that just fell. And then he just like twists his back getting up like this. I'm like, I thought you had bad back issues, Phil, and you're just like, oh, what? Like twisting his fucking back around like that. Jesus.
First thing Christmas morning, what a wonderful sight. A pile of fan mail delivered that night.
Yep. You see it? Oh, we got to slow it down a little bit. I know everyone else like goes over it, but Jesus Christ, this mess. This hoarder's fucking life over here. Just look at the way he has to maneuver just to get into the fucking living room here. It's fucking nuts. I think we got it. All right. The way he has to fucking maneuver. Not yet.
First thing Christmas.
Oh, and there's his air conditioner core thing right there too.
Morning. What a wonderful sight.
All right, first of all, look at this fucking mess. Okay, you got what? The joke. You got all these fucking statues or figurines that he just wasted all this money on. Then you got like the mountain of fucking Blu-rays over here. Jesus Christ. But look at the way he's gonna have to come in here just to get into the living room.
Pile of fan mail.
He has to, okay, first he has to go like this, because he can't knock over this, and he can't knock over this, so he has to like maneuver.
Night.
Oh, what was that? Oh. Wait, how do you do the... There was a way to do the, like, frame for... Yeah, here we go. We're coming in. We're coming in. Oh, look at that curve. Where is it? I think, there we go. This curve right here. I'm sorry, it's just that fucking curve to his back that he has to like switch, like, and it looks so natural, like he's so used to just coming in there that way by like twisting his body like in half almost. Not in half, but to such a fucking degree.
At night.
Who?
What the heck is that over?
And this is the one where, this is the special where his tongue looks so fucking yellow for some reason too. Like, we're gonna see it near the end of this. But like, for whatever reason, it looks like he has fucking jaundice or whatever. And I don't know if it's the lighting or the camera or what it was, but it looks bad.
Over there. What is that over there?
What is that? Huh? And it's like, oh, my fans aren't kids, but I have, looks like a fucking kid just drew that. Okay.
Looks like a stack of letters.
Oh. All letters in the segment are real.
Dear Phil, I've been a longtime viewer and fan of yours since your original Fallout 3
Oh, the
playthrough.
CM Punk
Looking
background?
back at the past and remembering all the great times I shared with you throughout your playthroughs brings a smile to my face.
Dear Phil, I have a disease. Just a disease.
Dear DSP, thanks for all the years of fun that you've brought to me. Recently, I was diagnosed with a disease.
A disease.
And it looks like for a long time I'm going to be in the hospital. But your videos always let me...
Oh, that's another thing he had to, like, turn... So, like, you have... I'm sorry. You have all these Blu-rays over here, but then he has a whole nother fucking stack of Blu-rays, like, right under the fucking counter thing here. And he has so much shit on his bar stools that he can't actually even sit on it. And then you got that giant-ass fucking Hulk statue here. This place is, like, so fucking hoarded out. It's insane.
Laugh a little bit. Thanks for brightening up my day when otherwise there wasn't a lot to look forward to. Hey DSP,
Recently, my girlfriend broke up with me, and it's been pretty rough. I've never really felt this bad.
Well, stop trying to make this all about you. Some of us have been feeling bad too. Get the fuck out of here. What was it, DJ Bruno? I can't remember who it
Then I
actually
opened
was.
up your YouTube channel, saw your latest playthrough, and it really cheered me up. Thanks so much.
I have a hard time believing anyone could watch his actual content and be cheered up.
And giving me something to distract me from the negative times in my life. It's much appreciated.
Well, he puts his fucking hand on his beard like that too.
That huge fucking jerk went back onto YouTube to revel in his work.
The hell?
He exclaimed.
This just can't be so. Phil's still playing games. There's new videos. He plays without thumbs up. He plays without fame. He plays despite montages mocking his game.
And then the troll yelled out, incredibly confused, he plays without hundreds of thousands of views!
He sure does.
Yeah, come on, get him. Ha ha ha, take that.
Take that, dude. Like, I know the quality isn't the best, but like, holy shit. Look at how yellow his tongue is here. I don't know if this is like, if he ate something and like maybe the something was like yellowish or something, but holy shit, look at how yellow it is.
Take that, you son of a bitch. Oh, you
fake acting.
You know what? It's okay.
My extreme acting talent.
It's Christmas.
You know what? It's okay. It's Christmas. What? That tongue, bro. That tongue.
Come on, get him. Take that, you son of a bitch. Oh, you shoot. You know what?
At least his skin suit fit better back then.
Okay. It's Christmas. Come on, let's do this. Come on, bitches, yeah.
Fake acting
gaming.
gaming.
Want some, boy? I'll give you some. That's right.
This is like like some C-grade movie of someone trying to pretend to be a gamer who never played a game before, and he's like, "Yeah, if I just mash buttons on here, I could be a gamer, dude. Yeah."
I know exactly what you want. Take some of this, yeah.
Oh yeah, those yeah, exactly. That's how fucking what was it? That Guile statue, the fucking comb got. The comb got like broken on his Guile statue. Guarantee you that's like fucking got broke because it accidentally knocked over.
According to legend, then some would say, the troll's e-penis shrunk 3 sizes that day.
Oh, fuck.
I love that editing there too.
You know, sometimes gaming is just about fun, and then sharing all of that with everyone. Don't turn to hating or being a prick.
I'm just so distracted by how yellow his fucking tongue is.
It's not funny. You'll just be a dick.
Like you?
Well. Enough of this humbug.
And his greased ass nasty hair helmet, basically.
Let's end this right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good.
And then my Santa hat is backwards. Because this is the seam, and you're supposed to put that seam backwards, but he just put it on the front anyway.
Night. In all seriousness, everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to my viewers, my fans, and my haters.
Aww.
Peace out.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Yep, here we go. A replay of that amazing shot. Where's the other clip? Alright, so I got 2 short things to react to and then 1 more video and we'll be done for today. So let's go to Snort Hogan for a little bit for 2 short videos to react to.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Hogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is DSP News for today. I hope you enjoyed the segment. Let's now get to shout-outs.
Let's now get to shoutouts. There aren't none. Phil? Hello? Hello?
Hold on.
Yeah.
'Tis the season for lots of junk mail. Get this out of here. 'Tis the season for your spam filter to be overloaded with spam emails. That is true. That is very true.
And real emails too, apparently.
First contribution of the day. Now, by the way, I didn't even bring this up today yet, okay? As you know, I'm a crowdfunded individual, all right? And my goals for today are to hit
the classic
650 members
begging.
by the end of today, so by the end of both streams, and to hit $50 per stream in tips. Now, yesterday we had a really great first stream, and then the Street Fighter stream was incredibly slow, almost no support. But it evened out because I had a really good first stream of Baldur's Gate 3, okay? Today, I would love to hit 650 members again. We had this, and then we lost it because a bunch expired, and then we gained some, and then more expire, and then we gained some, and then more expire. It's very frustrating. It's hard. We can't maintain. So today, if you want to help out the channel, please consider becoming a member or gifting some memberships to your fellow viewer. 'Tis the season of generosity, of course. I'm sure people would be very
Well, then
grateful to
why
get
don't
those,
you
and that
tip
would
it
help out
out
the
like
channel.
some things?
And of
Like,
course,
are
the
you
other
going to
thing
tip
is
out for
tips.
anyone?
So,
No.
just to give you guys some perspective, this week on Thursday, not only do I have to do grocery shopping, not only do I have to do my usual pet supplies, and not only is my wife and I going to order in a meal for the one time a week that we do so we don't have to cook.
That's such
But I
bullshit
have to
too.
go
You always
to the
order
liquor
in
store
meals,
and buy some
Phil.
liquor for the marathon on
That's
Saturday.
not any, like, he loves to pretend that they only order out a meal once a fucking day, a week, when, like, it's every fucking day they order a meal.
Okay. In addition, I have to buy the Grinch game and likely another game for the marathon on Saturday. So not only do I have to do all my usual stuff for the week, I also have to spend likely extra money, big extra money for all of this. Oh, by the
Super
way, I'm
big
ordering a
extra money,
meal
dude.
for Saturday's stream. Oh, by the way, of course, I want to have a Christmas Eve dinner with my wife.
But you're, like, this is all choices you're making, though, Phil. You don't have to order a big meal for your Christmas marathon, which was a fucking disaster, by the way. I only saw bits and pieces, and that was all I needed to see of that shit. But, like, that was just disaster. Like, no, you don't have to do any of this stuff. You're imposing your own bills, like, onto these people, and you don't have to even do that.
Right? So you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of extra stuff coming up this week. A ton of extra costs. All right? So if you guys could support the stream today, that would really help because of all the stuff I have to drop in the next few days. Notably Thursday, I not only have to have my day out, but also buy games and stuff for Saturday. So
and you don't have to play that game.
Any contributions today would be greatly appreciated. If we could hit the goals, the tips goal today would be very important to hit. It would help a lot. So please consider contributing via that method, okay? Speaking of which, our first tip of the day is from 1 Minute Man, and it is a $20 tip. Thank you so much, 1 Minute Man, for your usual daily support of all of my streams and content. I really, really appreciate that. Excuse me. Ooh. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Lovely.
So thank you very much, 1 Minute Man. First tip of the day. Let's get that up on the leaderboard.
So entertaining right now, isn't it? Just love watching him in silence, just staring at a screen.
And what's funny is there was a troll in chat, and he says, "Oh, well, not like anyone has to spend any money on their friends and family for the holidays," laughing my ass off. Well, first of all, you don't, because obviously you don't have any. That's why you're sitting.
And then projection, wild projection and assumption.
You're trolling me on my stream. You're a no-life fucking loser. And
so because someone's on his stream, they're a no-life user and they have nothing better to be doing.
Number two, of course, it's not what I said. I said if you like the content, please support it.
No, but you're fucking, like, basically, like, guilt-tripping these people. You're guilt-tripping your own fucking fans into giving you more money than they already do during the holiday time when they like people's wallets are stretched thin as it fucking is, and you're still fucking guilt tripping them into even giving you even more money than they already do.
Goals. I didn't say.
So what the fuck are you talking
break
about?
Your bank trying to support my streams. You're
That's basically what you're saying, though. Really, I mean, like you're not outright saying it, so you have plausible deniability in it. But that's basically what you're incenting.
Congratulations. Okay. I got the drip go. I got the drip go.
That's basically what he's incentivizing. What's the right word? Like hinting at, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Go, you drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip go. Okay, that's that. Now, before we get into other topics, which we will, I just want to call attention to the leaderboard and let you guys know what's going on. Thank you also very much for all the support recently. Okay, because of you, we got a big boost in support recently, which is great, especially this time of year. It's needed. Like, for example, this week.
So wide eyes. Look at how big his fucking eyes got. Like,
food multiple days this week. This helps out right now, so thank you for that. All right. Today, it's a full day of gameplay streaming here on DSPGaming. Here are my goals. Goal number 1: get back to 650 members.
Goal number 1:
for like the
quit
10th time.
fucked.
And what I mean by that is, for like 3 times this week, we've hit 650 and exceeded 650 members. And then it goes overnight, and a bunch of members expire. We come back the next day, and we're under again.
It's almost like they're just gifted and they don't stick around, okay? Huh?
If we can hit 650 again today, that would be great. I mean, the goal is to maintain 650. But right now, it's been really
gotta
tough,
maintain
okay?
it.
So, please consider becoming a member or maybe gifting some memberships to your fellow viewer. There are tons of people out there who I'm sure would appreciate a gifted membership right now. So please consider it. As they say, 'tis the season of giving. And, you know, to have some membership, especially for the Christmas Marathon this Saturday, where you know a lot of people are going to be here, to be pretty special. So, please consider that, all right? So, if I can hit 650 members by the end of today, that would be great.
Or okay? Not.
And then, every stream I do, my goal is to try to hit 50
Oh my god, get your step pointing at it like that.
Streams, and we haven't done it on some streams recently. It would be great if today we could do it on both streams. Or if we have one really great stream that exceeds it, then it's not so big of a deal that we don't hit it on the other stream. Okay? So, please, especially today, Baldur's Gate 3, if you're loving the playthrough, if you could support it with tips today, that would help. Again, that's liquidity. That's funds I can use
liquidity.
Right away.
I hate it when he says
frankly,
that. That's not liquidity.
Week, I've got to hit the garbage dump, because I haven't gone in like over a month, and I've got garbage backed up I got to get rid of.
Oh, lovely. So even more garbage is backed up. Not to mention that, like, he just recently got rid of all that fucking styrofoam, but now he has garbage backing up more because, like, there's probably just a bunch of fucking cat foot litter, used cat litter and shit that's just smelling up the place like fucking disgustingly.
A holiday shopping trip where I have to get all the odds and ends for our Christmas meal. Liquor at the liquor store.
And don't forget that I'm pretty sure his mom was probably sent him a lot of the stuff for the Christmas meal. Just like she did for Thanksgiving, that he just has to get like 1 or 2 things.
Store, right? So I've got a bunch of stuff that's kind of extra this week. And that would help a ton if you could. So please consider it. Thank you in advance. And that's that. I'm not going to sit here and talk about it all stream. Fair enough? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I got the drip go. I got the drip go.
All right. All right, so I got this one I want to watch, and then I think we're going to be done. Big ups to Iviga for this. The 12 Days of Dentmas, a Detractor-style Christmas Carol by Iviga. So everyone do go check this out. Also, even after this, go check him out. Go subscribe if you haven't already. This was pretty good, so I'm going to just watch this, and then I think we'll be basically done. I got some other stuff I gotta do.
On the first day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me a soulmate that's not even there. On the second day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 2 broken modems and a soulmate that's not even there. On the third day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 3 tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there. On the 4th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 4 vest at choices, 3 tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there. On the 5th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 5 urban guys, 4 vests at choices, 3 tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there. On the 6th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 6 starry Hogans, 5 urban guys, 4 vests at choices, 3 tips goals, 2
Yeah, Vika did a really good job on this. It was pretty good.
Soulmate that's not even there. On the 7th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 7 years of bursting, 6 starry Hogans, 5 urban guys, 4 vest at choices, 3 tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there. On the 8th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 8 quits of rage and 7 years of bursting, 6 starry Hogans, 5 urban guys, 4 vest at choices, 3 tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there. On the 9th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 9 spams of Darish, 8
Jesus.
quits of rage, and 7 years of bursting, 6 starry Hogans, 5 urban guys, 4 vest at choices, 3 tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there. On the 10th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach sent to me 10 gens a clinking, 9 spans of Derek, 8 quits of raging, 7 years of bursting, 6 starry Hogans, 5 urban guys, 4 vest at choices, 3 tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there. On the 11th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach gave to me 11 bags of cat treats, 10 gins a clinking, 9 spans of Derek, 8 quits of raging, 7 years of bursting, 6 starry Hogans, 5 urban guys, 4 vest at choices, 3 tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there. On the 12th day of Dentmas, the Pigroach sent to me 12 DoorDash orders, 11 bags of cat treats, 10 gins a clinking, 9 spams of Darish, 8 quits while raging, 7 years of bursting, 6 starry Hogans, 5 urban guys.
What?
4 vests at choices,
Pick up
3
Sly.
tips goals, 2 broken modems, and a soulmate that's not even there.
Awesome work, Iviga. That
Seriously,
is
Phil.
fucking
Where the fuck is Cat?
awesome work, Iviga. That was fucking great. All right.
To be Monster
Speaking
Hunter.
of urban
he actually
guys,
wanted it to be
we
like Monster
got-
Hunter, but then he don't like Monster Hunter.
Tevin's streaming, so I'm probably like I don't have the ability to send people or anything like that. But yeah, I think that's basically it for now. So but yeah, it was pretty good. A pretty good time.
Why can't he get a different clip of the game? He finished the game. He played an
But
entire
thank you
fucking
everyone
playthrough
who
of it.
stopped
How do you
by.
have
Thank
one
you
clip
everyone for
from the game?
watching. I hope you
That don't
all
make sense,
have a
actually.
wonderful holiday
Whatever.
season. a safe holiday season, so be careful driving out there. Don't drink too much.
About the game not having
Have a great season. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching.
Of gameplay.
And big ups to the entire Detractor community. You guys are all fucking awesome and legends. And we'll see ya next time I stream or next time I do a video. Because I still got a lot of shit to catch up on. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Yule, Merry Solstice, and all that other shit. Whatever you celebrate. Or if you don't even celebrate at all, big ups. Have a